Hello, welcome back to Just Casting. You're here with me, Kyle.
Dave.
Jose. Jim.
Pat.
And our good friend, Backwards Travels across all space and time. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Jared.
Welcome back to the here and now. How's your travels?
It's good to be back. My travels were exhausting. I'm ready to come back to life a little bit.
Nice.
Especially out of future Soviet Russia.
Yeah, that was weird.
Wait, there's still Soviet Russia?
No, it comes back.
It's not just Russia, it comes back.
Soviet
The USSR comes back?
Yeah,
It was a terrible rebranding from what I heard. Very much indeed.
There is a different leader every year. It reminds me of something else we know about, but I won't get into it.
Sorry. I'm the only one that
was
gets
some
that.
kind of inside joke about their college. But
Thank you for spoiling it, Kyle.
spoiling it for who?
I don't know.
Why do you
Tennis.
For tennis. I believe tennis is
He
No,
attends
no,
Dowling College?
I don't know what you're talking about. But
It was an inside joke turned inside out.
I hate you so much.
That's a pretty good way to put it, though. I'm not going to lie.
See,
Stop,
some
don't-
people
don't-
understand
stop.
what I say.
I can't deal with this.
I'm going to encourage him more.
I know you.
See, people actually like my stuff, but meanwhile, Kyle, everything I say, he
I
always shuts
am
me
pushing
down.
you to be better. By knocking you down,
Just
I'm
the
making
same
you pull on
thing to
yourself
me.
away.
He really does.
I am an
hilarious.
inspiration
Whatever.
to children everywhere.
Oh,
But so it's what, October 17th today?
17.
We're almost to Halloween, so I figured we would do a
Almost.
Halloween special since Jared's in town, like the Great Pumpkin. He only rolls in one time a year.
He comes back to the to the present
Yeah,
time.
the
present
Halloween,
time. The
Just
time
Casting
where
Studios.
things are normal.
yeah, he's exactly
not
like
that
the Great Pumpkin.
Except, as we all
Please
know,
can.
the Great Pumpkin did not show up.
It didn't.
Or
You
Right?
just
he-
spoiled
Did
that
you
Charlie
just
Brown
spoil that
episode.
for me?
Oh, sorry.
I had that set to DVR.
I forgot to call spoilers on
ABC
Charlie.
Family made a point to send me a Facebook ad that was coming on.
I forgot to say spoilers
Son of a
on
bitch.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Wait,
The only
so
Charlie
there
Brown I
really
haven't
was
seen.
a Great Pumpkin?
Wait, you've never
That
seen
makes
It's the Great
sense.
Pumpkin, Charlie Brown?
I haven't seen the ending. I've seen like bits and pieces of it.
Oh, it's so good. It's just a child sitting in a
I-
pumpkin patch waiting for something to happen that will never happen.
I've seen the I've Got a
We
Rock.
watched that in St. John's. I remember, on Halloween, I had an art class in the morning, and for some reason we watched It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and it was just, I
Because it
remember...
was probably around Halloween.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
He just said it was on Halloween.
I know, but he's like, for some reason we watched it.
Oh.
No, in art class, though, but I don't know, but that was probably either Halloween 2007, or the only other Halloweens in high school I remember my freshman year, which was the first year I didn't do dick for Halloween, and I remember...
Who are you?
What?
What would
For
you say?
contributing.
I was just saying,
That's what I have to say to that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's great. No, just freshman year of high school, it was the first Halloween where I was, going for candy or anything like that. I was literally bumming around, reading Batman Year One and everything, and
So you were looking for
Not
a
even
good
the long
time.
Halloween.
That's what it
No,
sounds
not
like
the
to
long
me.
Halloween.
I-
Never read Batman Year One before, and it was that, and I was getting Astro City and everything. And
I just want to point out you should have read the Long Halloween.
That's what I said. I literally just said that, Jared.
He
Thanks
was
for paying
too busy
attention.
burping to understand.
I don't really like Jeff Loeb.
You're crazy.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm crazy. I imagine Ultimates 3 and everything.
I'm not even talking to you anymore. Let's go on
Jeff
to
Loeb is
so
very incompetent.
Jeff Loeb wrote Hush.
I don't really like Hush.
Get out. You're off this podcast.
I did like
Tonight's specialty
Again.
equals the anti-Kyle Wonder Twins.
Kyle, what else do you like so I can disagree with you? I like life. Oh, I like death.
This is my nightmare. This is in the same room I can't deal with.
That's perfect for a Halloween theme. This is Kyle's nightmare.
Yeah.
Everyone, what's your worst nightmare?
This
Ooh,
moment right now.
I don't know, I was afraid of ghosts when I was a kid. Now,
Were you really?
well, I don't know, just ghosts could do anything. Rules
Ghosts can do it. Is that a part of their mythos?
I guess. I mean, they're
Somewhat.
dead.
Ghosts
it'd
are
be weird.
gods?
If you home alone in my house and where there's a ghost watching me or something.
So you're really afraid of people watching you?
I guess.
You're afraid of pedophiles more than anything else?
If you break it down like that, I guess it works out. But now, just stop being afraid because ghosts existing would prove afterlife, and that would just prove all atheists wrong. It'd be weird.
That's not true.
ghosts existing would be like some proof of like an afterlife.
But it can prove most other religions wrong too. There's not like ghosts kind of disprove most religions.
He said atheist, not religion.
I know, but
And
I'm arguing that
general,
it disproves a lot of things.
I'm not talking about a specific religion. It's like it proves of an afterlife in general, even if it's just like
There's
science.
something afterwards.
Yeah, like on
Yeah,
Supernatural, like the echo image kind of thing or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that could be might not have to do with an afterlife. That might just be you get stuck as the electronic electromagnetic pulses.
Yeah.
And you get stuck in the loop of what you were doing when you died.
I don't know. Other than that, ghosts, I don't really know what else I was afraid of. I don't know.
I like that you're taking this seriously. I'm very proud of you. Everyone else, I think, was going to glance over what Jose said, but you were like, no, I will sit here and I will demand your attention.
I mean, like,
Thank you, Ben.
heights are okay. I mean,
Heights are okay.
Heights are
Do you walk up to a ledge?
Fine,
Do you like walk up to a ledge and you're like, you're alright by me?
I don't love that I'm here. I don't hate that I'm here. It's fine.
You're kind of scary.
I
I
guess.
just wish it was a little warmer for me.
alright.
You're doing something.
Heights suck. Fuck heights. That's what I meant to say. But, yeah, I mean, obviously if there's like a guy with an axe chasing me, I'd be kind of like nervous about that at least. But like,
He would be a little concerned.
Well,
Oh boy, no.
What a lukewarm reaction.
I guess it would be uncomfortable.
But you know what? That reaction could save his life because the guy like, you know what? I'm not even into it anymore.
He's not gonna play along. He's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put down the axe
No,
and
now
play
I just look
Parcheesi.
foolish.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm just running at nothing.
yeah. But yeah, I don't really know any phobias I have otherwise.
Does anyone? I mean, I'm guessing probably not because I know you guys all at least a little bit. Does anyone have any weird fears that?
Well, when I was a kid, I actually did get scared of a Friday the 13th movie once.
Which
Then
one?
I forget.
One scene.
Was it Jason Takes Manhattan?
One
Were you in
scene.
Manhattan?
No,
You were
no.
like, Jason was here.
No, no.
For 13 minutes, he was here.
No,
He was there for a lot, but most of the movie.
He was in it for the last, like, 20
No, he
minutes.
wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
He-
I just rewatched
He goes
that
down the
movie.
alley, steps on the boombox, kills those guys, or scares those guys.
Kills
then
a
he goes,
hobo or
then
something.
he goes to the alley, kills those guys. He was in
It's
Manhattan.
mostly-
He
it's-
takes Manhattan.
He takes a
I
boat.
hardly call that taking Manhattan.
Yeah. He takes 4th Street, and that's it.
Yeah, it's more than you've ever done.
Probably.
Stop hating on Jason.
The man has accomplished a lot.
Oh. Of the serial
For a
killers?
special needs kid, he has accomplished far more than most people with his disabilities.
I think he can be branded the biggest cock block among all the killers.
I don't know.
Look at
Freddy
the
has a
cat.
pretty good.
You
He
think?
killed Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's like the most
No, no.
attractive man in the world.
No. I mean,
Away
actually
from
killing people mid-coitus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, has
Michael
Eddie-
Myers does that too.
He does it.
He
This
like
dude-
busts in the room
Nah.
and kills people.
Obviously, you're
He
referring
doesn't-
to the actor, not.
No, both.
Yeah, one time I was in bed all of a sudden.
I think
Yeah,
maybe,
He starts doing
baby.
the shred voice. It's really awkward.
But
Yeah, baby.
No, he was just the biggest cock block ever. It was just like, oh god, now
I don't know.
that's the thing
Thanks.
about he died. Like he drowned because like counselors were having sex instead of watching it. or
Instead of
something.
watching a little retarded.
So now, like, all I know is just go after like teens banging each other, and then, like,
But only in his specific camp.
It's more
Which has been
Jason
closed
than
down
Michael
for-
Myers or anybody else.
Yeah, Jason wins, but it's almost like anyone who's at Camp Crystal Lake deserves it.
yeah,
I mean, other than the second movie. The second movie, it's like, ooh, it was a myth. Like, you know, his mom went crazy and now she's dead. All right, I get being that kind of douche.
Being that dude.
Like people died here. Let's go hang out here and bang. Like that's fine. If you want to be that kind of douche, then go for it.
Yo, people died here. Let's fuck on their corpses.
Have you watched Friday the 13th Part 2? That's essentially what's going on.
Oh, God.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie. Camp Crystal Lake is not a nice enough place to die
It's not,
over.
right?
It's really not that nice.
And
I don't get why
I
people
just
keep
remember
going
being
back
in
there.
all woods and like 1 or 2 cabins. That would
Yeah, there was always one or two.
one where the bodies
They keep
were at,
building
and
it,
one
then
where
tear
the
it down.
people around didn't know about the bodies.
Well,
or
I was watching I hadn't watched them in years. Like
we
since
saw
I
the
went on
Corey
my
Feldman
binge.
one like the other day.
Yeah, since I went on my binge, this was the first time I watched like 5, 6, and 7,
Yeah.
and it's all about Tommy, like the little kid. He's Corey Feldman.
Is he in all the movies?
No, he's not. Corey Feldman does not play him after that first.
Really?
Someone else plays him in the 6th, and then someone else plays him in the 7th. And in the end of 5, this little kid shaves his head to look like Jason.
It's Corey Feldman
Yeah.
as the little kid.
Yes,
It's
Corey
just
Feldman
like-
shaves his head.
Oh, that's the one that actually scared me as a kid. I mean, now we're talking
That
like
has
8.
Crispin Glover in it too.
It did, yeah,
We
Crispin
watched
Glover
like,
got killed as like an
Yeah.
asshole.
he looks so
I know. I
unrealistic
just
live.
remember. I do remember a kid shaving his head, and then Jason looks at him, and he's like,
Well, which I was very confused. I was watching this the other night, and in Friday the 13th Part 2, when Jason comes back, and the girl at the end is getting chased by Jason, she puts on the mother's clothes and is like, Jason! Like, trying to convince him that she's his mom, and Jason gets confused.
Mhm.
So Corey Feldman kind of does the same thing, except he shaves his head to look like Jason, and then he's like, Jason! And Jason looks like, is he trying to convince Jason that he's Jason? like, it's a very confusing moment, because Jason gets confused, but I think more for, like, what is he doing?
So Corey Feldman saves the day by bringing about an existential crisis in
Corey
Jason
Feldman
Voorhees.
saves the day by taking an axe and hacking Jason's neck for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Just like, die.
Wait, so that was the final chapter. So was that entry number 4 in the series at the
That's
time, or
5?
That
6 was a new beginning.
right?
7 was...
No, I think Pat was right. I think it was 4, and then 5 was a new beginning.
Yeah, so
and
he-
6 was Jason...
Goes to hell?
Jason... No, that was 9.
That's 9?
Jason's
Wow.
Resurrection or something. Whatever. Because 5, I'm not 100% sure if Jason was in it all. Because it's about Tommy being at a psych ward, dealing with, like,
Yes.
killing Jason.
That I did see.
And there's somebody going around killing people as Jason, but I don't think it was Jason.
I don't. I do remember it like opening up, and it's him like as an adult in a
but
psych
all I know
ward.
is in the 6th one, when I thought it was the 7th one, but the 6th one, he digs up Jason's body, which is all like decomposed. So I'm guessing he was not the guy in the 5th one. But like he literally just like grabs a pole, starts beating it,
Yeah.
and then stabs it. And then they like walk away for a second, and lightning hits the pole twice. And all of a sudden, you see Jason's eyes open, and it was just like all you had to do was not do that. You didn't even have to do anything. You just literally had to not do what you just did, and Jason would be gone forever. Like, you stupid. All those people in the future in space could have lived. But
Oh,
no.
I do remember that one.
Jason
X.
X is amazing.
Jason X.
Well, no. If we're going through
That
the whole
stupid
series,
fucking movie.
we might as well go through. That happens in 6. He goes around killing people. They kill him as always. I think they drown him in that one. 7.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that he's like at the end. The guy, if I remember correctly, the guy's like, Jason's back home. Like Jason's back where he belongs or whatever. Like they literally like chained him and like dragged him down to the bottom of the ocean.
Hold on, I got lost. Which is the one they said they was resurrected?
6 or 5.
It was 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going through them.
Yeah.
I don't know these movies for shit.
6, I know for a fact, is the one they do the crazy pole thing. Because I was watching that earlier today, and I was like, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is literally the stupidest thing you could ever do."
It's
7, I honestly have no memory of 7.
I don't know. Until Jason X and
What's
Freddy
the name of
versus
this
Jason.
The New Blood.
The new, okay, I'm sure that's just like new people go camping.
Yeah.
All I know is 8. I watched 1,000 times because I love it so much.
What about
What is it?
Freddy versus Jason?
Jason Takes Manhattan?
Oh.
We will talk about that.
Okay.
Okay,
Freddy
the
versus
the
Jason.
beginning of the plot synopsis says that they renamed Forest Green back to Crystal Lake because it's more famous.
Okay, yeah, they changed the name to Camp Crystal Lake to Forest Green to like reopen it. And one of those times, Jason went crazy. Yeah, kills people. And I guess they changed the name because everyone knows the legend of Jason, so it was like, oh, it will entice people.
For
some
should be in,
reason.
like the newspapers, all these bodies.
Yeah, but 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan, as we all know. He goes to Manhattan, has some fun, hangs out on a cruise ship for a
Steps
little
on
bit.
boom boxes and everything.
That's still my favorite movie. But 9 is Jason Goes to Hell, which is all sorts of awesome. Which is the first reference of Freddy vs. Jason. Because in Hell, in like the very end, you see Freddy's like face or something, or no, Freddy's hand. Coming
Yeah,
out
and
of the ground. That's
now
what it was.
Freddy Goes to Hell. That's the one. Is it the one
Jason
where the
Goes to
coroner? Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes, where he possesses the coroner.
Yeah, that was. That movie was ridiculous.
It was.
Like, it wasn't even Jason. It was like Jason possessing a guy.
It was
And then
Nightmare on Elm Street
And
2.
then they stopped the guy. It was like a whole big deal to stop the guy because like of Jason's bloodline. Then all of a sudden, this other girl just happened to be in Jason's bloodline too. And
which
like,
they never really talk about ever again.
He just turns right back into regular Jason after all that.
Whatever. After that, we get Jason X. So who cares?
I remember he was like, he was
Was
killing
that the last one until Jason X? Those are like 10 years.
Because Jason 10. That's what X is.
Oh yeah,
It's
you're
part
right.
9 is Jason Goes to Hell. Jason X is him.
Because you're right. Those two were like 10 years apart.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about 10 years, but a certain amount. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Then
They're probably
11
planning
and
like
12.
Freddy versus Jason back in the day, and then they development hell, and it finally happened and everything.
Yeah. And then there was Freddy.
10
yeah.
years. It's actually a little more than that.
Really? I didn't think it was that long.
Because release date for... Oh, wait, hold up. Oh,
no, you gotta go to Jason Goes to
no,
Hell.
no, freaking Wikipedia fucked me over. I think we're getting my iPad. 93 versus 2001. Okay, so it was an 8-year gap.
Okay,
That's
fine.
still a long gap.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, after Jason X, we got one of the funniest movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Is Freddy versus Jason.
That movie was hilarious.
That hands down.
The farm scene is great.
Which one?
That
Farm
just
scene.
fits.
Oh, where Jason comes in, where they're
Yeah.
all partying in the
Yeah.
corn, and Jason
right.
That
walks
just
up.
fell into all sorts of cliches, just so like
Yeah.
perfectly. Like they weren't even trying, but
They
it
put
still
they put
happened.
Jay from Jay and Silent Bob in that movie.
Pretty much, but without like
Without him being Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
They just put some dude that was supposed to look like
Yeah,
him.
I remember they had like the one girl. They had like the guy. I remember the guy who helped him escape from the mental asylum when he was getting all slashed up and burned by Freddy. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Wait, which time, when he was in the his bathroom area?
Yeah, sort of like
The main dude's buddy.
yeah, him. And then like he gets Freddy's back burned on his back and everything, and then like
Yeah.
his face gets all slashed open, which
And
was cool.
Robert, what's his name? Was Freddy? in that
Robert
movie?
Englund. Yeah. I mean, he's Freddy in every movie except
Except the
the
newest
most
one.
recent
They had
one.
that weird metafiction, like Wes Craven's,
Craven's
New
New
Nightmare,
Nightmare.
like, which was weird. It was like saying all the other Freddy movies after the first Nightmare didn't count, and this is what
For many years, my... no, also the third one counted. She was in the third one.
I got whichever
they
one after
reference-
Wes Craven.
They
I mean,
they reference Wes Craven did 1, 3, and I think 4, maybe more than that. But
It was only 5.
the girl,
There was
No.
only 5.
no, there weren't.
Yeah, there was.
No, there wasn't. There was
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the weird possessing thing where the kid gets the thing in the arm. Dream Warriors,
Warriors.
Dream Master, Dream Child.
it's weird that movies with these titles were like coming out like back in the day.
Then there's the one where what's his name, Breckin Myers in it.
Oh yeah, he was the
Where-
one that got killed with like the video game death and
Yes,
everything.
yeah. And then there's New Nightmare. There's 7 before.
7.
There's 7 before.
Is
Freddy.
there?
Shall I go down the list officially?
Yeah, do it.
We have a Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, Freddy is Dead, the
Freddy's
final,
Dead. That's
final
it.
Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Freddy vs. Jason, and then the remake of 2010.
Which was so goddamn insulting.
I never saw
pretty
it,
bad.
but like I was like, oh cool, Rorschach's Freddy. I mean,
The only entertaining
He was fine.
No,
Let
Freddy
me
is
tell you
Rorschach.
that.
so he was okay as Freddy at
No,
least.
it's not. Well, no, they wrote Freddy shitty.
There was
He
one
played
entertaining
fine.
part with Freddy before he got burned. When he was like
He
the
was
janitor.
a retarded janitor.
He was like a retarded janitor,
Really?
and like they reference him back, and they're like, he used to take care of the kids. Like they show him like gardening with
Yeah.
like one of those those little like tiny little rakes that you like mix up dirt with, and he's like smiling, and he's like raking up dirt. Like imagine Rorschach
it's
doing
funny.
that.
No, it is funny. But that's the thing I did not
terrible.
like about that movie is they made Freddy almost like a tragic character. Like he was sick, he had a problem, and they all burned him to death. In the original series, he was a fucking crazy ass child murderer that all the parents were like, nobody's doing anything about this. Let's all gang up on him and murder him. And
And
you were like, yeah, let's kill him.
He wasn't a murderer in the newest one.
No, he was like a molester.
He was a rapist. Yeah, and he took
I don't
pictures.
know if he was
of him.
and it was like, that's gross, it's awful. But like clearly
James
this
Earl
guy
Haley
is
plays,
not
like,
this guy is
molesters.
not medically okay.
But I thought Michael Bay's touch on that movie was nothing short of elegant.
Oh, Michael Bay was a producer.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
I didn't even know that.
Platinum Dunes. He owns
You didn't
Platinum
notice? Yeah.
Dunes.
So there was a scene where like they took the classic, like where he kind of like scrapes his claws up
Yeah.
against. But so it's the moment.
But
his
there was an
claws,
explosion?
Yes.
The moment his claws
Yeah.
touch the pipe, it sounds like Transformers.
Yeah, it was very dramatic. I know what you're talking
It
about.
was so ridiculous. All it needs to be was like, but it was
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, there were just certain scenes in that, like if you watch the original, it's kind of silly, but the original, I implore you to not find that at least a little bit creepy. The original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh
Yeah,
that-
back in the day, it must have been like
That fucked my mind up. I don't get
He's
scared.
like a back man.
Sorry.
Like, yeah, back in the day.
I don't get scared by things. All right, like I don't get scared by movies. That movie fucked me up for a really long time because it was one of those like
Not coming in as clear.
I can't even go to.
Did Johnny
I can't go to
Depp
sleep.
like being swallowed by the bed really like fuck you up?
I was a big Pirates fan at the time, and I was like, I can't. What?
That's like what got Johnny Depp famous. Like
I
you should
know.
probably love that like moment when he gets seen by the.
No, I like that moment. I'm joking, but no, that the idea of Freddy Krueger is easily the scariest movie.
They didn't even.
I've
They
ever
called him
seen.
Fred Krueger in the original, didn't they? Like,
Yeah, they did.
were just like, oh,
I
it's
think
Fred
the kids called him Freddy. I think like he called himself Freddy. Like
Someone called him Fred. I do remember
the
Fred
adults
being
called
thrown
him
out
Fred
there.
because they knew him because they put
Yeah.
him on fire.
Once you light someone on fire, you're on a nickname
Yeah,
basis.
You're really close with them.
This guy's my friend for life.
I remember Poltergeist was made in the 80s, and that's the movie.
Poltergeist.
That's the movie that fucked me up. Like when
Why?
I was a
So
kid.
people really died?
Well, no. Well, that's ridiculous, crazy in real life. The
Well,
fact
no,
that happened.
two people died on the first one, and
The-
then someone died on
The
second
teenage
one.
girl was barely even in the movie
You
to
don't know
begin with.
wait, time out. You don't know the Poltergeist curse?
No.
It's in fact that like two like main of the actors from Poltergeist and
Died.
I think some crew members too died. One was murdered and one died when she was a little girl. So the fact that she died is pretty fucked
And then
up.
on the sequel, someone else died too.
Yeah.
There's a curse.
Yep.
Well, they're making a new one, so someone's
I know,
gonna
I
die.
can't wait.
Can't wait to die.
Next
Read the
victim.
tabloids,
It's
some
pretty-
crazy guy got there with a gun.
It's pretty much, I guess, it's not official, but I always considered Poltergeist like one of Spielberg's like directed movies, even though it was like
Yeah.
a major producer on it. But like everybody says, though, it's pretty
It's
much
like Toby
Spielberg's
Hooper
movie.
fucked up, and he
That
had to step
movie
in.
like
I mean,
scared
I-
the shit out of me when I was a kid,
movie
though.
rocked.
That scene where the guy peels his face off, the clown, the fucking clown, like the tree tried to eat the kid. It went into his room, grabbed the kid, tried to eat him. That little woman who I would never
I mean,
let try to help my
Poltergeist.
house.
Poltergeist was where we get the like buried on an Indian burial ground,
Yeah.
like trope that everyone uses.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery. That was the book that fucked me up too. What? It's Indian burial
Pet
grounds. They fucked me
Cemetery.
up.
You
Yeah,
just don't like Native Americans.
it's not Native Americans. It's just the fact
Pat
that
hates Native
burial.
Americans where they bury
They
their people.
use,
You
like,
racist asshole.
They use demonic rituals with hell spawns and demons and shit.
so it's only Native Americans that do that. Is that what you're saying?
You know, Pat, I came from the future. I'm just gonna let you know they will return.
That'd be so awesome.
We're
if the
fucked.
Native Americans come back.
Oh, they're scalping us.
I would just stand there and be like, "Do it, do it! You guys deserve this." There's like 4 of you left when I was a kid. You really impressed me.
What
How
else?
would they even begin to mount that attack?
There's only
No, I'm
4
saying
of us.
when I was a kid, there were
No,
like 4
no, I
of
know,
you.
but how would, like, if the Native Americans were to make a comeback, how would they even, like, begin
Do
to
it?
rally their forces?
I don't know. I mean,
There are no forces.
like, there's barely any bloodlines left.
There's nothing.
you know, it's a lot of inbred stuff.
Aw.
It'd have
How
to
do you
be.
think English monarchs came about?
Goddamn.
But
No comment.
Speaking of inbred, like, and a different degree of like slasher character, like Leatherface is pretty cool. The fact
oh
that
my
he just,
god, that was.
he
I'm
just, like,
sorry.
he's just a
That
force of
was
nature
fucking
charging
awesome.
after you with the chainsaw. you
That
know?
was such a good. What do you call it?
Segue?
Ending?
Segue.
Yeah.
That's like the best segue anyone could ever make. Like we're talking about inbred Native Americans. You're like, speaking of inbreds, Leatherface.
Well, it's true though.
Kyle,
I
I'm
mean,
worried you're complimenting Pat.
I can't not on that. That one was amazing.
Well, you know, this is why I'm here. But
And it, it's
If
not
I
teaching
made
him.
it, it would be
you
different.
bang him down, then you give him a little semblance of hope, and then he tries to reach for it, and then you bang him down.
you know, I'm right here, right? Like,
What?
You can't hear
Who
you.
are you? I mean, I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah,
but-
there's that ending where like he's still chasing her, like when she's still in the truck and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because like it seems so I don't know, just realistic in a way or whatever.
Have you seen the second one?
No, I know Matthew McConaughey was in.
Has
that.
anyone seen the
Oh,
second?
he has a robot
Vicious-
leg or something, right?
No, the
Was Dennis
family.
Hopper in the second
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Oh, wow.
You get to see Leatherface's family, and it is hands down the funniest thing in the world.
Really?
It's just this fucked up inbred family that literally are just like basically mocking Leatherface to like Leatherface like bumps into something, and someone like is like, "God damn it, Leatherface!" You're gonna hit, like smacks him on the head, like the most terrifying being ever in the first movie.
And they're just treating him like shit.
Like their dumb little brother. It's so awesome.
Wow. God damn it. I like Leatherface, but I don't like Leatherface Joker. Like, there's this webcomic, it has Adam West Batman.
Okay, to give some kind of reference, what he's talking about? He's talking about the recent Death of the Family series in Batman, where Joker
Okay, don't spoil too much.
cuts his own face off.
I've
It's a new
only,
look.
I've only gotten up to that.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, that's pretty much all he's saying. It's that Joker takes his own face off and puts it on himself, like staples it on himself. It's a whole thing.
But the point is that it's a really weird look. I mean, I know it's cool to like do things out of the box that aren't like the normal set, but it's a look that in some light, like you can kind of tolerate it, but in most cases, like it just seems too out there, even just not the Joker's style. And
I agree.
The point I was trying to get before is that there's this online webcomic that, like, satires comic book culture and news, and it has a scene where like the campy Adam West Batman is standing next to the Cesar Romero Joker, and Adam West Batman says, "Oh, it looks like you have kind of a mustache there." And Cesar Romero Joker's like, "Oh my!" And Adam West Batman says, "Here, just if you pick at it a little, just there you go. There. Okay, good." And then there you got it. Then it cuts back, just the Cesar Romero Joker turned into Leatherface Joker, and you're just like, "Ooh, oh, that's good. I'm glad I got that off."
Funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Cesar Romero, I like his Joker. I think it's funny for the time. It works for the time. It's a little bit insulting he didn't take the mustache off.
Yeah, he just refused.
And tried to ignore the fact that it was there.
They made Joker kind of a bitch on Adam West Batman show. It was funny though because it's like a satire. But like, there's a scene I was watching on YouTube where Alfred owns the old Joker, just like he gets stuck on like a fire pole or whatever. Like, oh well. But anywho, just other good movies with the Halloween season coming up. I've heard good things about Cabin in the Woods. I kind of
Cabin in
know.
the Woods is awesome.
I know
that's
Cabin in the Woods
years
is
old
great.
at this point.
No, it's only like 2 or so years. Chris
That's
Herndon-
years old.
Whatever.
And you made it out to be like, oh, it's ancient.
No, I'm saying
I
he was acting
You
like
haven't
he was
seen
a
it by
new
now,
movie.
you're an idiot.
He was acting like it was a new movie. It was not like a movie coming out.
It's fair.
I kind of know the plot. I know it's
Thank
gonna
you.
happen, but I still want to see it for the sake of seeing it, and because it's one of those like movies that like takes usual cliches and other
It's a
movies.
deconstruction.
Exactly, like this other movie, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale
I just
versus-
rewatched
oh,
that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
how good is that?
It's
Okay.
real. Alan Tudyk is so goddamn
Exactly,
funny.
yeah.
Oh, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, have you seen?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen
Oh,
the whole
it's
thing.
so good.
It's him and the guy who fucking started the monkey evolution.
Tyler Labine.
Yeah.
Who's funny in this?
I love it, man. I watched Reaper when it was on. That 2 seasons it was on. The TV show he
Yeah.
started on, and it was so good.
I remember Kevin Smith like did the
Yeah,
pilot.
he
didn't
he directed the pilot.
Wow. He was gonna do Heroes at one point. Do you remember that?
No, he was gonna do a spin-off series.
Yeah. Wow. That was weird.
When they were gonna do Heroes Origins, it was gonna be like original.
Yeah.
characters.
Wow. That was a throwback. I haven't thought about that in
He
years.
was on He was on the Mindy Project this week
Just himself? Or
as
like-
himself on an airplane.
He was on yesterday. I could believe anything.
I know, but she was on an airplane and like he was like sat down next to her like in his hockey jersey, like the big Kevin Smith hockey jersey, and like he ended up being in the wrong place. Like the guy
Yeah.
got up and he literally turns to her, Mindy Kaling, the Indian girl from The Office,
Yeah.
and is like, "Oh man, I'm so happy I'm not next to a skinny person." I'm so sick of them looking at you, judging you with those eyes, like.
Oh
And
god.
she's like, "But that's really offensive," or whatever. And guy comes, takes his place. He goes in the back, and the dude who took his place is like, "Oh, I'm so happy I'm sitting here. I was so afraid I was going to have to sit next to Kevin Smith." And he pops up. He's like, "Yo, man, that's offensive. I'm right here."
Really?
It was really funny.
That's cool that he's been able to take that experience and just like move on from it or whatever. Just when tabloids,
That built him into a better person.
I guess he did look like he was in like decent shape. I've seen pictures of him
He's
from like
really-
2008.
You saw him like
I
in
know.
person the
I know.
other
That's,
day.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
I saw- on his wiki page, he's got like pictures from 2008. He's like more blown up and
Yeah, he's
everything.
pretty big.
And then now probably with that incident.
Well, he's like 80 pounds down, I heard.
Yeah, I heard they actually regained weight, but judging by seeing him last week, he seemed like fine for his.
And we took up that
Status.
fucking giant
Jersey.
Jersey, he would probably look even better.
I liked it better when he wore like the trench coat and everything. It was more like 90s, early 2000s.
But he's branding himself with a hockey jersey.
Yeah, I guess. This is trademark, really?
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, he
it's
only
his
wears that
hockey
jersey.
jerseys.
Yeah.
If you see his closet, it's literally just
filled
like
with the
dozens
same exact.
of those hockey
The only thing that's
jerseys.
different is what's on the front.
Sometimes he is Shecky, sometimes he is
Yeah, the
Slotcast,
Batman,
sometimes he's
Batman.
Batman. But anyway, back to Halloween. We didn't talk about...
I do have a good point for it with Halloween, though, because I just recently watched an episode of Freaks and Geeks, which was a Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, which
yeah.
one? I've watched every episode of that shit.
The Halloween episode?
What did they do?
It's the one where like the little
Yeah.
brother gets egged by
Yeah,
his
she
sister.
Yeah,
she
okay,
hugs her.
yeah.
Well, but like there was like a big point in that movie where like the mom was really nice and baked cookies for everyone, but then none of the parents were letting their kids take it. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like, we don't take any unwrapped candy.
Yeah,
I was just curious if any of you guys ever in your trick or treating growing up came across any sketchy candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never came across any sketchy candy, but my parents were very... I want to get to your story, but I'm trying to build up to a less impressive story to that. My parents were very, like, if a candy was not fully wrapped, like, that was going in the garbage.
Yeah.
And I was always like, no, what are you doing?
It's candy.
I did not see the small gullet on me. I need all I can get.
I always got like bags of pretzels and like Halloween.
What? That's all you got?
No, not all, that's not everything I got. I'm just
You
saying.
said all I got was
pretzels
No,
on
I
a
mean,
rock.
all I got
Charlie Brown.
for Christ's sakes.
Well,
I
who
meant-
got the rock?
Yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Sorry,
Was it
we
Charlie
jump
Brown?
on
Yeah,
it.
no, he was in the like retarded
Yeah.
ghost costume that had holes everywhere.
That was him. Okay.
And everyone would be like, I got a chocolate bar. I got a nickel. I got a rock.
Like every house just give him a rock.
Like
Fuck
every
you, Charlie
house.
Brown.
But
You're an
Sorry, I
asshole,
was aiming for
Charlie.
your face, but I got your
You're an
back.
asshole, Charlie Brown.
I want to hear about the sketchy.
Yeah, what is
candy.
the
Yeah.
sketchy
Yeah.
candy you got?
Well,
Make up a good story.
make up a good story. Like, there's all a bunch of houses. They all give the little shitty, like, little sample, like, oh, fun size, whatever. Finally got, there's this one house giving out, like, full-size candy bars. And I was a kid. I was like, yes! I win!
I did it!
I win!
One house
it.
around the block from where I grew up that did that, and I thought it was like Christmas came to Halloween.
Yeah, I know, right? That's amazing. And so I got, like, it was big Butterfingers, and then I had, like, a Hershey's almond whatever.
Oh, so good.
And
Hershey's almonds. Oh.
the Butterfingers was open. I didn't realize it, but a half of it was open. It was just open, and I didn't realize it until I got home, and I opened up the bag. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And my mom threw it out. I was like, no!
Oh.
Then I only had the almond one left. I'm so
Oh,
disappointed.
For Halloween, like I was always like at a weird festival. I was always a werewolf for like 3 Halloweens in a row.
Are you serious?
When I was a kid.
Just
Yeah.
you couldn't be bothered to change
Now,
it,
now,
or
did you actually put on like a costume with like a rubber mask? Or
Yeah,
did
it
you
was-
actually like put hair on
no?
yourself?
I went
used
as
to
a
sh-
werewolf, like not on the. I was like, "There's no full moon."
I used
I just
to
went on regular clothes.
No, I used a shitty rubber mask, which looking back, really should put hair on my face. It would look more convincing. But I wore like hairy gloves and put on a rubber mask, and that was like 3 years. And my favorite Halloween costume, that was like the last time I went trick or treating, I was like the Invisible Man. I did like the
Oh, you wrapped yourself
yeah,
up
I
in
did like the
bandage.
bandage thing.
That's
like,
actually
like glasses.
quick side note. That movie was made in '33.
Yeah.
That movie still creeps me out. Actually,
Invisible
That's a good
Man?
I'll be completely honest. It's an amazing movie.
It's a great movie, but I would say it creeps me
It
out.
does. I don't know why. It does creep me
Claude
out.
Rains creeps me out.
When he's a scary motherfucker.
He's a
I
scary
can't think of-
motherfucker.
Just imagining an invisible person in your house and you don't know where they would be at any moment.
With
That's
a great-
him. That's
with
what
a-
his whole childhood was about: ghost stalking.
Yeah.
him.
With a great
Yes.
British accent.
Well, that,
Oh,
that would be
that's kind
that'd
of-
be comforting, though.
I don't know.
think so.
He sounds like a badass.
Yeah.
I like British accents.
Like, you sit down, or else I will beat you senselessly with this fire picker.
But
I would
see,
not
that's
take
much
that
classier
seriously
than
at
so.
all.
No.
Hey, get out there! I'm gonna hit you.
No, but he's very violent.
I've seen the movie.
It's
He's
like-
extremely violent.
If you ever read the graphic novel series League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, they have Invisible Man, like straight
Yeah.
up H.G. Wells Invisible Man, like and that
Well, I saw the movie with Sean Connery.
that wasn't what he wasn't the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man was in it.
He said he saw the movie with Sean Connery.
Right.
Thanks for killing the whole bit.
Because he was going to say that
I forgot
he
Sean
saw
Connery
it, and
was-
it was nothing like what you're describing.
Yeah, I was
because
going, well, I
the
didn't
movie-
read the comic book, but I saw the movie.
Oh my bad. Anyway, yeah, and, like, you think it's just like a regular Justice League of book characters, but meanwhile, like, the people are like batshit insane, and the Invisible Man is like a crazy rapist and everything, and then he sells out the humans to the Martians from H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds, the exact, the tripods and everything, and they work together because they're both written by H.G. Wells.
There might be no piece of literature, no piece of fiction in the world that's affected me more as a person than H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. When I was little, my dad had a CD collection of the War of the Worlds, and he told me the story of how it went on the radio,
With
and
Orson Welles.
everyone believed it.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
And it like fucked my brain. Like if
listen to the
I ever
actual
do anything
recording?
crazy,
Yeah.
it'll be because of that.
It was a live recording, right?
It wasn't a recording; it was just on the radio.
Are we
Live
talking
recording.
about Orson
It was
Welles?
live. Yeah,
Yes.
Orson Welles narrating the whole thing.
And
Right.
It was just like that. The idea that they were able to convince that many people that something was real and that it was happening, like, really fucked my brain up.
How-
I thought it was so cool.
What's the year on that? What year did he do that?
30s, 40s.
Yeah, 30s,
I mean, people
I'd
were
imagine.
the general public was a lot stupider then.
But there was no TV.
More naive.
It was
More
like in the
naive.
South, too, probably. Like,
I was everywhere. It was,
Yeah.
it was a huge deal.
I don't know. I grew up watching the original H.G. Wells, the War of the Worlds movie, not this crappy Tom Cruise bullshit.
enjoyed the Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, please.
It wasn't War of the Worlds.
It
It
was
was a
really
cool
s-
suspense alien movie.
Hey,
but it wasn't
Tim
War of the
Robbins
Worlds.
was in it. You shut up.
Why did I know you were going to bring that up?
Tim Robbins
You
is
always have
amazing.
to rub Tim Robbins
Tim
in my
Robbins
face,
was
don't you,
the,
Dave?
like, token
What
crazy
is that
guy.
a thing? What is this?
But not to the extent that Kyle had. But I definitely, I agree. I had an impact because of War of the Worlds too. And as a child, I tried to read the book, and I'm like, I can't read this. This is
Yeah.
too English for me.
Definitely.
I have the Spark Notes version in my library of War of the Worlds.
It's true. I mean, his ideas were just one of the most brilliant ever, but
Incredible.
it's sometimes hard to sit down and put yourself in that 19th century
Exactly.
mindset.
Yeah. So, like, read the.
I got a copy of the book somewhere.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, actually, I can see it right here. Next
He's
to...
got the Tom Cruise movie version.
no, it's
Picture of Tom Cruise.
Do you
with shirt
remember
off on
when
it for some reason.
when movies would come out and like in elementary school, like
I
you go to
have
those
the
book
X-Men.
fairs? Yes, and
Yeah, I
they
have
would
the
like
X-Men
write
one.
books off of movies that were made. Like just some douchebag would go see the movie and then like write like a book about the
Really?
movie.
Wow.
Oh yeah, like they had like I had the Hulk, like Eric Bana's Hulk. They made
Yeah.
someone wrote a book about the movie, like word
Oh,
for
like the
word.
novelization of the movie, or
Right.
whatever, Yeah.
Like what was the point of that?
Oh no, the best.
Because I get
Just to catch
I get
in on,
watching
like,
a
books,
movie
right?
to not read a book, but why would you read a book to not watch a movie?
No, the best was though at the Scholastic Book Fairs, like the Happy Days Journal, and like
Oh yeah.
and like shows that no one is that like we watched on Nick at Night as children, and they're like, we can make money off of this. We can reinstill a fan base from the 1970s.
We can make it faster, stronger, better.
It's like the MASH trading card book.
Yeah, right. Because that shit hasn't been updated because no one gives a shit about Scholastics since the 1970s.
Scholastics doesn't care about Scholastics.
What kind of people work at Scholastics? Let's be honest.
Sick rapists.
Scholastic's budget is 98% Harry Potter books and 2% book fairs.
The CEOs are like, this is all we have left.
When I was a kid, I was like an addict for those Goosebumps books and everything.
Yeah.
Like I read the shit out of those.
Oh, they had a show too,
Say
didn't they?
cheese.
They
did.
did. The show was kind of
Ryan
cheesy,
Gosling.
but it was like cool.
No, that's Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was another like crazy ass show. Like it was.
No, but he's in it too.
That
maybe.
scared me as a child.
Goosebumps.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? There was always a little bit to that show that was
Yeah.
like, kids really shouldn't be seeing this.
Yeah, it was like
There's always a little bit too much of real.
You know, I
it was ahead of its time. It had like the framing device with the campfire gang, and then it didn't turn out like the very spoiler like, last episode. The whole series was being told by a group of kids in like the 1800s or something.
Well, they did that.
I didn't know that.
Spoiler alert! The episode we
I really don't care.
Oh wait, this was the
Remember
show
that
they used to put out the campfire
Yeah,
after every
yeah,
episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
there were generations because there was the episodes we were watching like recently, like the last year or so. That the ones where Ryan Gosling was in one of them. but they were trying to solve the mystery.
No idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Remember when your friends were here in the basement and we were watching Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh!
episodes?
I thought we were still talking about Goosebumps. I got lost.
No, but they were trying to solve like the mystery of some kind of disc, yada yada. But like it turns out like their grandparents were also doing the same thing and hanging out, like telling campfire stories. Like the whole thing ends up being a story in one of their stories. Yeah, but I remember there was a pinball episode.
Yeah, and like he does everything right. Like he beats the bad guy, and at the very last moment, no,
he dies horribly or something.
Yeah.
Did somebody get raped on
that? Was the thing that introduced
introduced
Kafka-esque storytelling to
to children.
Yes, exactly. and
we all know need to understand that kind of story.
It's the fact that a bad thing you can do everything right and deserve like a good ending, but bad shit can just inexplicably still happen to you.
I think that's just the brilliance of the Nickelodeon writers.
Oh yeah.
At the time,
Can you say that again without laughing?
No.
That was tough.
The writers of that show were really smart.
Let's be real. Everyone on Nickelodeon was all smoking pot in the 90s. Lots and lots of pot.
Well, most of them.
A lot of them.
I read the AMA on Reddit of the creator of Rocko's Modern Life, and he was just like,
Is he Australian?
I don't know.
Because, why would you...
Is he a kangaroo?
Who would be Was he a wallaby?
No, can we be real? Was he a turtle who kept to himself?
He was Filbert.
Nauseous.
Filbert was hands down my favorite animated character for a very long time.
Why? He was Woody Allen as a turtle.
Exactly. I didn't know who Woody Allen was at the time.
Oh.
So I was just like, this is... somehow I had like a city in me because I was like, this is amazing. He's just sitting there hating on everything.
And that's when the cynical Kyle sprouted out.
Woody Allen. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But at the time, it was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the creator on Reddit was just like, I think the series ran just right. Like it was about 52 episodes or whatever. Like
I mean,
most seasons.
Nobody ever complained that it got canceled.
Exactly.
It ran for just enough time.
Yeah, people fondly remember it. I do.
At the time, I don't think it was I don't think at that time people were complaining about stuff getting canceled.
Yeah.
That's what we do now.
Yeah, they just kind of rolled with it. That was back when VCR
Young Justice
or whatever. Yeah,
Don't.
all
I'll
VCR.
cry.
It's about Halloween, guys. Come
Yeah,
on,
it's
stop
true.
it.
Well, it is
Don't-
scary.
Let's not bring up that kind of
I will
stuff. here.
cry. But Pat, you brought long before I went up and went to the bathroom. We got another beer. You brought up your favorite costume.
Mm-hmm.
Your I mean, I guess I don't know which would be your favorite. You brought up that you were
The Invisible Man costume. I thought that just
the
looked
last
pretty...
one was your favorite.
Yeah, that just looked really cool.
All right, cool.
Damn it, kind of beat me to the question.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask that at some point, but I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Well,
But
what's
whatever.
everyone's? Because I'm actually curious.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's everyone's favorite costume, Dave?
I barely remember.
Shut up! Everyone knows their favorite costume.
Probably the Darth Vader costume.
Oh my god, I hate you! I had that all prepared in my mind. How awesome that
He
costume
had a
was.
whole story behind
because
it.
you know
Like you
it's
could
the
actually
only
see
thing I
through the
remember.
helmet in red. It was awesome.
You could see the hate.
You could see the red.
Mine had shades on, but it was okay. Like it's the only thing I remember. Actually, it's the only thing being cool because I had the cape. The cape was awesome.
Well, you just took my dream and
You know-
crushed it. That's all I can remember,
and you know
so
what?
I guess I'll throw it out there.
I want to share a fond memory of being Vader.
I'm just gonna just smash Tim Robbins in your face.
That's our thing. Is
Apparently that's the thing now.
Okay.
In the future, that's the thing. I just harass him about Tim Robbins.
Or Tim Robbins.
Well, Jared, in the 2200s, doesn't Tim Robbins get resurrected from the dead and comes back?
He arms himself with the Native Americans.
he comes back in a very Star Trek II-esque, superhuman
This is
genetically...
Ceti Alpha 5.
We left him on the wrong planet.
Everyone forgot who Tim Robbins was. They thought he was a mythical god by this point.
And yes, he has genetically created super Indians.
It took him 20 years, but he broke out of that prison.
And they all look like Ricardo Montalban.
Yes, they do. And they're all upset the Redskins never changed their name.
All right. Well,
Strange.
clearly Jared's favorite costume of all time was Darth Vader.
I did. Now, since I have to choose a second one.
You were Anakin Skywalker first.
No.
And then,
Oh, God, no.
and then you had a bad experience. You were like, never again!
I was Obi-Wan Kenobi when
Were
episode
you?
1 came on. Episode 1 came out. Yeah, like the young Obi-Wan.
Wait, were you Obi-Wan first or Vader first?
Vader first.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But no, I would say I actually had a pretty badass Wolverine costume when the first episode of the movie
nice.
came out. Like the black one.
2000?
Yeah.
I guess we were 10. Yeah, that's acceptable.
Well, I was 9.
You were 9, yeah. Forgot I'm older. Me and Jim were older.
Yeah. My favorite costume to date was definitely my Link costume, but the second version.
For Halloween, okay.
Yes, you were with me
That's
when
talking about when you're 20 years old.
I was gonna say, didn't you just wear
That
that?
childhood Halloween costume.
He just took it off, actually.
For the record, I was Link when I was in the
Still
7th
wearing
grade,
shoes.
for starters.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm just, yeah, but you said the second one, the recent
Yes.
one.
No, no, I'm on like Mark 4 at this point.
I don't even want to know that. I don't even want to know that.
Are
You're the Iron Man.
Yeah, I was just about to say
shit.
he's up at night down here in his basement making new suits that don't do shit.
We're waiting for all his Link costumes to come to life.
You're just gonna blow them up into a fiery grand explosion.
He just makes a different Link costume for each Legend of Zelda game.
No, I never went that crazy.
Wait, what year was this? 7th grade? You saying?
That's my first one was 7th grade.
Okay, that's all right. Let's go with that.
Yeah, but I mean, that one was really fucking hot and sweaty because it was sweatpants.
I was
What version of Link has sweatpants?
No, because this is as I didn't make it. I just got bits and pieces of
You
different
couldn't
clothing.
wear like shorts.
I was not
Was it
doing
like
that.
white sweatpants?
Yes, it was
or
bright.
like-
It was white sweatpants.
I mean, all right. I guess that's fair.
Wait, now were these yoga pants?
Yeah.
No. They were
Can you picture
sweatpants.
Jose in yoga pants?
Oh God, I don't want to picture that.
As disturbing as that is, that would have been more accurate for Link.
That's
That's what I was thinking.
That's true.
You just gotta take the juicy off
But,
the line.
With the rhinestones.
It says pink on it. You just gotta take that off.
There's gonna be a Triforce and rhinestones.
Just sperm dumpster on the back.
That's what the Triforce is. It's an arrow. Deposit specimen here.
Oh God.
Specimen. Took out a few letters.
But
So sorry.
I mean, that was my first like different costume. Like I got tired of buying one.
I like buying them.
I don't.
I
like
got the
making
catalogs every year in the mail. That was exciting as shit.
Right? It was fun
I
to
got
look at
bored
the
of
Party
them.
City
You got to-
catalogs.
Yeah, you got to see the happy kids in their badass costumes.
They just never
They
quit.
weren't happy.
I'm sorry, but if we go, and I'm really sorry Alex Ryder isn't here right now. Alex has apparently abandoned the podcast and abandoned us. I have no idea where he is, but
Still jumping to conclusions.
I've been
He
trying to
is a
contact him
traitor.
for over a week, and I got
Tim
one text in
Robbins.
response to him.
Yeah, he hasn't responded to me at all. It's kinda like-
Technically enhanced Indian.
That, what the hell? Guys, come on. If you're going to do
I'm
that...
sorry. I'm sorry
No,
having this.
guys, you can't have side conversations. It's going to come out really confusing.
I know, it's true.
But my, I'm not going to say my favorite. My favorite was probably Dracula. I did Dracula a lot of times. I don't know why, but I
You're
really
the
liked it.
vampire, I was the werewolf.
Yeah.
But
But,
Invisible Man.
but I did,
Yeah, Invisible Man.
I never rehashed a costume.
I did the Red Ranger.
Oh, you never rehashed a costume?
Not during my school days.
I was actually the costume I was the most was I was Spider-Man probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I was Spider-Man once. I was definitely Spider-Man once. actually.
After the Sam Raimi movie came out too, I wasn't Spider-Man that year, but I saw in the catalog they actually made the costume with one-way see-through lenses.
Yes,
And
I saw
was
that.
like, that is brilliant.
That was one of those. I was a little too old to be like, "Can I have that?"
Yeah.
And my parents were like, "No."
I was actually Jason that year, but
You're Jason.
yeah, I wore a hockey mask and
I was never. I mean, technically, Dracula, I guess, is a bad guy, but I was Dracula a lot. But I was Red Power.
Was it
Ranger
like
once.
the Bela Lugosi?
Yeah, the medallion.
Yeah.
But the Red Power Ranger never. It was the thing that pissed me off more than anything else in the entire world.
The fact that he left like 20 episodes in, or
There was another Red Power Ranger after Jason left.
I know,
But-
but like the original.
Stop it. No, my issue was we can get into that. We've got into that too many times on this
Yeah, I
podcast.
know.
We've talked about the world peacekeeping meeting that they all went to. But the mask for the Red Power Ranger was one of those
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
it
about.
had the
yeah.
elastic band and it was
Oh,
half
yeah.
the face.
Breathing must have been like shit. Like,
No, I was just mad it wasn't a full helmet.
yeah.
I was like, this is not realistic at all. Like I literally, when I was 8, I was like, "This has ruined it.
That's like
this
what
ruined
I-
Halloween for me."
That's what I was when I was like a little kid. I was like Charmeleon from Pokemon, and like
really,
the
you didn't,
mask
you didn't
was-
feel like a real lizard.
Did you light your tail on fire?
No, it had a little like fire thing, but the mask was what you described. Had the
Yeah,
elastic.
the half mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them had that, and I was so goddamn annoyed by
Hated
that.
those things.
Yeah, that was cheap.
Oh, they were fun.
No, when they just like squeezed all
It was
the
the same
oxygen out of your
thing.
brain.
No, that wasn't even that. It was just it could do whatever it wanted to me. But the fact as long
Was
as
it raping you?
Yeah, it was fine. If the
It could
costume
do
wanted,
whatever it wanted.
if the costume wanted to rape me, it was fine. But it needed to have a full helmet, or else it was like, what's the point?
Well,
of this?
that's where the Darth Vader outfit was awesome because it had
Yes.
this piece that came on
Yes,
top.
I was too old by the time I,
it was,
saw
it was
that.
the same plastic that they make cups out of, but
Yeah.
still, they went through the effort of
I remember when I was a little too old, and they came out with the Darth Vader voice changer,
Yeah.
and it was a full helmet, and I was like, I want that. My dad was like, "You're 13." I was like, I still want that.
It's time to put
I
child...
want it now.
Well, okay, if we're gonna start describing last night's conversations with my dad, fine.
It's time to
I didn't want to get into it, Dave. Thanks.
It's time to put
asshole.
childish things aside.
I'm sorry they still play that commercial.
Okay, has anybody like when you're trick or treating as a kid, you go up to a door
Mhm.
and you're like, "Yeah, trick or treat," and they just come up and it's like, "Yeah, I don't do Halloween."
Well,
Does anybody?
Well, I mean, there
That's happened to
were.
me,
when your
actually.
hopes and
There
dreams
were.
just get crushed.
But there's a few houses that you know. Like, by the time you're a certain age, you know what houses don't
Right.
celebrate Halloween.
Well, like I was in a different neighborhood. I was around with my cousins, and they were kids, and it was like we just started out, and we got up to this one house, and this old creepy guy comes up. He's like, "Yeah, I don't do Halloween."
Maybe you don't go to the old creepy guy's house.
Well, it looked like a nice house on the outside. He did drag me inside.
In his bedroom, it looked really
He
nice.
showed
Under the
me,
covers, it
And then
was
the
great.
dark things happen.
he showed me old Tim Robbins movies.
What did I miss when I was getting a beer?
You missed a lot.
What did Tim Robbins do to you?
Just
Got
can't
shoved
stop.
in Jared's face
Just
excessively.
can't stop. He's got to bring it up. Whenever we get into it, he's just got to put Tim Robbins there as a safety
God
barrier.
damn it, David, bringing up Tim Robbins,
Yeah, Tim Robbins.
God damn it, Dave, bring up Tim Robbins.
making it better than me.
Bring him better than me.
Well, like he just comes in, and he's like, just yeah, don't do Halloween. Just walks away.
Well,
I answered the door, said
Yeah,
the line.
I mean,
I'm
it's not
surprised
great.
it answers the door. Like, if you have your lights off,
Yeah, I don't
inside
answer
of
the
house,
door.
But you know what? He had the only thing that I can give him was like he had the common courtesy to come up, even though he was a terrible communicator. He came up and said, "Hey, I don't do this, except in a dickish manner. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't do Halloween."
Do you know what I do?
Fuck you.
Do you know what I do now? I wait in the early parts of the day when it's like 4:30, when kids are coming after school and they're little kids. I open the door and I give them so much fucking candy because it's early and I'm the only one home. And then when the-
Wait, hold on.
And then when the
what
teenagers,
the fuck? You have been burping so
Yeah,
loud.
you
What?
can you stop doing
Yeah,
that?
what's
to the
going-
mic?
I'm
What's-
sorry.
what's happening?
I'll put it in the mic. I'm like, this is weird. Dude, that's not getting muffled.
Come on. But you'd be surprised what these things pick up. But like so when later when teenagers start showing up, I just don't answer the door. Don't answer the door. Like literally, I avoid. My parents will answer the door for them, but I will ignore them for so fucking long. I've literally opened the door, been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have anything left," and just slammed the door in people's faces.
Wait, to the teenagers?
Yeah, because I'm like, I know what you do. Fuck off.
Has any of your like houses just become like your streets or anything just become like wastelands? Like nobody
well,
like knocks or
Well,
anymore.
not for Halloween.
it's the hookers all
Only
knock at
me.
my door. No, I live on a corner, so my house gets egged every year. It sucks, yeah.
Oh, that does suck.
And I feel bad. I feel really bad. Not for my house, but my people across the street from me are Middle Eastern,
Yeah,
and they get fucking abused.
Jesus.
Like last year, there was like a whole thing. Like I almost like went outside. Like I'm a very non-violent person. I literally almost went outside and was like, I
But
almost
he
called
came
the
out
cops
in
last
his
year.
he went back into his closet and he drudged up the Dracula costume and he
Yeah,
went
I
out
was gonna
there.
say, You're about to deal with the Prince of Death. Ah!
And then they egged him. It's like,
My one
weakness.
This is like sunlight to me.
I thought it was garlic.
Not
Oh, no.
organic.
No, it's eggs. You sons of bitches!
What's kind of sad, Dave, that you said
Fuck
is
you.
I almost did that.
You almost egged me?
No.
No, he almost came out of the house dressed up as Link and took out his sword.
I was gonna do that because the people that were getting egged were my next door neighbors were little old ladies.
Yeah.
But you were gonna run out as
the house
Link
rush was
and save the day?
With your white leggings.
It's not the fact that you're
I
gonna...
would run away.
You weren't just gonna run out and help this old woman. Were you gonna run out as Link?
You know what? No, at the time I did not have the costume, but I
Okay.
did have the sword.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna like suit up and then charge out with the sword.
Wait.
Get
Did you
away
get the
from
sword
her!
when-
And then
Time out.
you
Didn't you get the sword when you moved into this house?
No, I got the sword when I still lived in my parents' house.
It was not for long, though, right?
No, it was for quite a while actually.
Really?
Yeah.
He had his Mark III suit.
Because I was
No.
around.
At this point, the Mark II didn't exist yet.
Shit.
Because this is.
Did you always call it that, or did you get that from
I just did that right now, just to fuck with you guys.
But yes, he did get the from Iron Man. But
I mean, it's not just Iron Man; just generally people say
Here's my
that.
question is, now, would you guys, as teenagers, abusing someone's house, throwing eggs at it, whatever?
I could never.
Only
do
if it's somebody I
No,
didn't
I
like.
ask if you would do it. I'm saying if a 22-year-old
Give it
male,
out. Give Jose right now.
fairly well built, heavy set, came out in juicy leggings and a Link outfit,
Sperm dumpster on his ass with rhinestones.
his ass shaking as he's running out with his sword, runs after you and is yelling
This is
something in
disgusting.
Spanish.
I feel like I egged the wrong
Get
fucking
into
ass.
the boga!
Would you be scared?
I would be scared. I would run away.
Yeah, I would not be very thrilled.
I will actually want to say Jose was right in what he was saying. I think that we all look like the fool here, because that would have worked. He would have successfully stopped them, and he'd run out and then like.
As they're running away. What was? Don't look back. Just don't look back. Whatever you do.
Thank you, Jared, for justifying my thoughts.
I'm just trying to look out for you, man.
I'll make sure I will do that if it ever happens again.
Oh,
No, I never. I mean, like when I started, I didn't really. I would just TP like random trees, just like on. I live in the suburbs, and like they have sidewalks.
None of us live in the suburbs.
Well, I'm just trying to like.
Yeah, we all live in the big city.
I'm trying to paint a
The Big
freaking
Apple.
picture here, alright? So
We all live in the big city.
I think
yeah.
I took it once.
You know, when, where the trolleys go fast and the women are fast.
yeah, fine, fuck it. I don't know what happened. I don't remember it.
This word right now.
Big cities. You know, New York City, where we all,
Apparently
we
the 1930s
all
on top of it.
sip on coffees and,
Yeah, you're running out of fucking material
and
there.
smoke cigars and
Stereotypes.
pay little boys to shine our shoes. And,
Out of shape, in shape 40s guy?
yeah, exactly.
Alright then, anyway,
Back to the
Why
store.
would you TP trees? What is wrong with you?
would you rather
You
TP
schmuck.
some random person's house?
You could have
than-
done what I did, not TP anything.
You
I'd be
you
lame.
use silly
I had-
string.
You have to live a little, you know?
Silly
It's just a
string's
tree, you
That has
know?
never been like, hey, that's a thing I really want to TP.
Oh, it's the sense of danger. It's not bringing the act of TPing itself.
Go around silly string.
Pat, you know what you sound like right
egg
now
your
saying that?
friends.
What?
You sound like you sound like today's YOLO schmucks.
I never
No,
say
no,
YOLO
he doesn't. That's
at
the problem.
all.
Is people have been TPing shit forever. But
But the way he's justifying it.
no, he's not. It's fine. I'm not holding it against him. I'm holding it against him and everyone he's ever met.
Whoa.
Do you see what I deal with? Like,
You know, I deal with
you
you missed the physical time.
What are you
I used to
talking
beat the
about?
shit out of you.
didn't beat the shit out. You just like whacked me a
I used
couple
to
times.
punch you.
Oh, I thought we were
Oh.
giving out physicals.
Oh, God damn it. This is-
Well,
All I can say,
Jared
that was my
this
that was
podcast,
my,
Not due for a
that was my
prostate
doctor
exam.
phase.
this podcast is scary, but in the wrong way. God damn it.
the only other thing I can say about it is,
I did.
You did bully me, you
I didn't
asshole.
bully you.
You were just a second ago saying that.
I was lying. It was a joke. I
That-
didn't bully.
It was a joke, and then he puts
I
the
only-
microphone aside. Kill you. I swear
You
to God, you
would-
better not
you-
freaking out.
I would
never
say something
bullied
like
you.
waka waka, and then you'd be like, I want to fucking stab you.
I probably said waka waka. I'm gonna fucking stand. That's probably. That
No,
probably
I would say waka waka
Oh,
or
that-
something like that. Then you'd be like, I'm gonna
I
stab
literally.
you.
I probably said I will fucking stab you about 100 times to you.
So, yeah, so you're agreeing with me then.
I'm not. I did not bully you one
Okay,
time.
Alright, you didn't
You
bully
deserved.
Alright, you didn't bully me. You weren't like an asshole who went with harassed me. You were just like a guy I was friends with.
Every time I've ever said anything to you, you deserved it.
Yeah, whatever.
I only said anything to you every time you said something trying to be that guy that was like, hey, I'm gonna say something quirky right now.
And then cynical Kyle comes in. You better shut the fuck up.
That's exactly what
Nobody
he
wants
did.
this Disney World shit in my house.
He's describing our whole friendship right now.
Pat, I know because it's happened to me.
You know, you were like, you've gotten the diluted,
I've
you've gotten the Diet Coke version of what he's got.
Dave, you can't have fun. That's not what this house is about.
Me and you have argued. I just shut him down. You got no light.
It's weird, like, sometimes, like, I actually, like, turn this kid on to, like, you know, books like Watchmen or, like, other crazy, like, new forms of
He's
literature.
gonna hold that over your head for the rest of your life.
Watchmen? I know, it's crazy, right?
He will hold that over. I've been
I know,
hearing
it's
that
almost
since-
like I've read more comic books than him at this point, but whatever.
Oh, please, like...
Here it comes.
I only hope, Kyle, you're not going to try and take full credit for my DC love, even though...
No, I mean, once you give me my comics back, I'll let you go on it. But
My entire library of DC Comics.
I gave him like over 10 graphic novels at this point.
I brought 4 back with me. I forgot to bring them this evening.
Oh, thank you.
What?
No, I gave him a big stack of comics to read.
No, I don't know. It's like, at the same time, like, we both, like, share, like, both literature. I remember you
Oh,
gave
I
me-
love you.
Yeah, I know, like, and all that. So, like, we're just, like,
Hold
all,
on.
like, kind of...
Can I just comment and say that description of your friendship, as from a third party point of view, could not have been any more fucking accurate.
I know.
I couldn't help. I try my best not to laugh out loud, but Jesus Christ,
Yeah, that's good. Just,
I
like,
just fucking teared a little bit. It was so brilliant.
Oh, well. But we're talking about Halloween today.
Yes.
So,
do some pay, like, been reading Hellblazer, and, like,
Hellblazer kicks ass.
Yeah, and, like, Grant Morrison wrote this... he only wrote, like, 2 issues of it. But it was
I know.
all about, like, this town that was, like, doing so many about, let's all band together, but let's just happen to do a pagan ritual, and that form a thing, and then, like, it all goes terribly wrong from
I
there.
know, it was so fucking awesome.
But
But,
it was just funny.
Jim is back. He was on a phone. Before we move on to the next thing, what was your favorite costume you ever wore?
You know, I was thinking about this, and like, I was a very strange child, so I didn't have anything like awesome, but I had things that I felt awesome wearing. So like, I was a king one year, and I had a really like awesome robe. Like, I was a soldier one year, but it was like pretty badass. I looked like a Vietnam guy because I had like
You sat on a street corner with a sign like, I can't deal with this.
Vietnam happened!
No, I had like a legit like army jacket like that was all beat up. That was definitely Vietnam.
Jim committed. He cut off his legs.
Yeah.
You can like sit on your legs.
I was wondering.
My
what-
parents carried me around and would tape my legs up.
I seen some things. That's some stuff.
I would recommend it.
Now, but I think last year's costume, which I kind of made up off the top of my head, was because we did a couple of Dowling people. We went to did a little bit of a Halloween pub crawl, which wasn't nothing as spectacular as Brandy's.
Oh shit! I forgot that happened. That was there.
Yeah, Brandy's Halloween pub crawl 2013. That guy Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, whoa,
I think he's trying to say that this year's is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Whoa. Are you using this airtime for advertising?
Yeah, he's been
Yes.
promoting.
Did you go through the correct paperwork for this?
Hey.
If
hey.
Sheldon the sheep wasn't able to get it for as free as you did, then you.
All right,
currently-
yeah, nobody knows who you're talking about except
You're
you know
currently, you're currently sitting in the Sky Club level of Brandy's old-fashioned lesbian formatics at Deer Park. So yes,
You know
it's
what?
going to be advertised.
Just
You know
so
what?
we're not signing off right now.
Now he's throwing stuff in my face too. You want to put Tim Robbins in that fucking Sky Lounge?
Yes!
Hey,
I'm gonna get him on here to advertise for us.
Who do you think was the one who genetically engineered all those Native American soldiers he had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Sky Lounge?
What do you think I was doing in that boiler room? I wasn't on the phone. That was just a ruse.
He was actually talking to Tim Robbins on like the Empire Strikes Back hologram. He bends down and Tim Robbins appears. I have made the genetically enhanced Indian warriors.
And they all speak Algonquin as you requested.
Something complete.
The Apache warriors. They will not stand in the rebels' ways.
But anyway, my costume for that little, I guess we'll call it a pub crawl because it was only like 2 bars. But I just took my graduation robes and I hung a sign with a string around my neck that just said "shit out of luck."
I remember that.
Got very positive feedback.
Nice.
I see a clever outfit to reflect the current economic condition.
Yes.
What is that? I guess the thing where it's a drunk version of anybody, basically.
Wow.
That's yes. This is the for those of you who will be participating in That Guy Thirsty Thursday. In our Brandy's group, we have a character called That Guy, and the running joke is that guy is always drunk. He has women's underwear on his head. He's a pretty fun guy. So what we're doing is during That Guy Thirsty Thursday, we're all just being drunk people and going on a pub crawl, but like with the stereotypical like lampshades on our heads and
The ties around the
yeah.
Do you
I
get
was
a dollar
thinking of-
every
I'm-
time you say Thirsty Thursdays?
I'm honestly like I'm thinking of doing like half a cop out would do the Mario, but instead of the hat, but get a traffic cone and just stamp a big ass M on it. I think that'd be pretty funny. I don't know.
You know, it'd also be funny if you wore the overalls, but like just the straps and no pants and like really obnoxious like white with part like unboxers.
I
What
mean,
if you wore no boxers?
Well, then I don't think he would get into the classy establishments that we tend to.
I think it would be funny
that
as
we
shit.
we will be patronizing on that night.
We're talking about this year's, apparently.
yes.
We do have traffic cones, you know that.
Yeah, but
course we
like
do.
they're huge. I need to find
Do
like a
we still have
medium-sized
traffic
one.
cones?
We have 2.
Yeah, but
I was
they're
gonna
big.
say I dumped 130 of them.
I'm ordered. We have Penis Wombat and we have one other one that showed up out of nowhere.
I think it might be Lindsay Lohan.
I don't think it has a name. It's just in that room over there.
That's Penis Wombat in there.
Penis Wombat's outside.
Stand by. Continue going, guys.
You gave me a great idea. I think Chris should beat Lindsay Lohan for Halloween.
Chris is not. Stop it. Doyle is not doing that.
I think he should.
Well, like fits the
Well,
pretty damn well.
Are you getting confused? LaQuisha's in the shed.
Traffic cone?
Who are we talking
Because
about?
your mother is crazy.
These, for clarification, these names are traffic cones.
Thank you, Jared.
There was a time in our lives. There was a time
There is a name, but I can't read it.
God damn it. There's a time in Jose and mine lives, I don't know if you were there until the very end.
I observed it. I didn't partake.
Okay. That
Well,
there
you can
was-
always go back to
We,
I can. I
we-
can change that shit.
Yeah.
You no longer have received any traffic cones. You
but
went and changed
we
it.
what do you call it? Accumulated over 100 traffic cones through
The
various
traffic cones.
means.
That doesn't
There's a
sound
picture
sketchy.
somewhere on Facebook still of those traffic cones. A
And
profile of someone who's no longer my friend.
and our good friend Doyle Beaver, and I named all of them different names.
It was quite absurd. It was hysterical.
It took a long time.
You guys have a lot of free time to name all those cones.
It was one day. It took a
But
long
what
time.
a day it was.
It was a great
Day
day.
well spent.
It was a very odd day. But yeah, they're all gone except 2. One, which is the first one, Master Commander Penis Wombat.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
It said Master MCPW on it.
Yeah, I had the initials on it already.
So we named it Master Commander Penis Wombat. And that's in the backyard. And then there's one that we don't know about. That's in the
The evil one.
in
You
the
don't
other.
speak of.
Yeah, the evil Master Commander Penis Wombat.
And it's funny because one of the things that Jose and I bonded over is I also, in my youth, with my group of friends, did the same exact thing.
I did not know that. That's
You did not know that?
hilarious.
How do you think we got LaQuisha? LaQuisha was stolen from, legally procured from the State University of New York at Farmingdale. That's
We
why
had
it
a-
says...
we had a bunch from Farmingdale.
That's why...
Holy shit, this
That's
house
why-
has been pilfering Farmingdale for generations.
Wait,
That's
no,
why
you go
it
there
says-
now.
That's why she has a
totally
tramp
know.
stamp that says SUNY PD on the back.
That whore!
Yeah. But for those of
We
you who don't,
returned it, and everyone was very happy about it.
yes, we gave it back, and that's why she's not the co-founder of Brandy's Old Fashioned.
No, not at all, not at all.
Or anything, but
Um,
no. She's a very pretty cone. You could all look on Facebook.
Hey, she's
Go
a
to
nice cone.
www.facebook.com/ /Boffle. That's BOFFLFF. For all your brandy
That's
seeds.
$10. That's $10.
That should be in our pockets right there.
Yeah.
They already fund our podcast.
It's a
I
co-founder thing.
Yeah.
I
But
see.
we
Tim Robbins part of that?
Hey, I contributed
Tim
7
Robbins
cents in that jar.
that does not help your fund. But have there any, just going back to Halloween, were there any big Halloween, what do you call it, regrets? Is there any costume you wish you would have worn before you turned,
Oh yeah, I mean, I can think of like
is there any
million costumes.
Is there
that
anything
I
you
wish
wish
I
you
wore.
did? Is there anything, any place you wish you went?
There weren't really any.
Well, I know a good
I
place
wish I
we
had
should
more
all
candy.
still go, which is perfectly normal for adults to do, but Universal Studios closes their park. Like, once they let people in, it just becomes one big haunted house.
Yeah,
I thought they just started that. Like, was that been going on for a while now?
They do
Or
it. They
like-
do it for a little while. I will say,
That sounds terrifying.
I went to one of their haunted houses, and it was awesome. And
Really?
like, it's just classic stuff. It was just werewolf Dracula, and like what they do is they'll come out at you. And they won't touch you like this, but they'll like skim you, and like they'll just come out of nowhere and scare the shit out of you.
Skin you.
They'll like skin you.
They'll flay you.
Yeah, they've really been like an increase in a lot of like Fright Fest kind of things.
Yeah.
There's
No, so now, I
Adventureland
think
or
this
like,
year,
this
the new
year
thing
is-
is they do. They shut the doors. They don't let anyone out. I mean, unless I guess it's an emergency.
I
But,
guess we're like,
but
I'm having a heart attack. Keep him in here.
I'm sorry. He has to die.
So since these characters are scalping people, I know exactly where I'm going to send my Indian warriors to get changed now.
They'll never know.
They'll just blend in.
and it's Tim Robbins in the CEO office looking over everything. Like, yeah,
No, he's in the
good.
closed Nickelodeon studios at Universal.
yeah, I always wanted to go there when I was a kid. Like I would just see it after
I
the
got
show.
to go.
Is that filmed in front of a live audience, by
That's
the way?
the
Yes.
place.
I went to the Florida one.
Yeah, that's
That is
what
the
we're
one.
talking
Didn't they
about.
Okay,
close
yeah,
it?
I went there. It was fun.
They've closed it down. Like
I played some
Yeah.
kind of game that they had. It was not
They
a
did
real.
close it down.
I don't know where
Yeah.
Nickelodeon's their headquarters is now. I mean, like I don't know. I used to want to work for.
On the moon!
I went to the Universal in California. They had nothing for Nickelodeon.
It's just Dan Schneider. It's
Yeah.
that dude's offices. He runs all of Nickelodeon.
But the Fright Night thing for the Universal now has like this Walking Dead, the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw
Wait, is
that.
it actually The Walking Dead, like the show, or is it a different?
No, it's like the Walking Dead show type of thing.
Well,
like
that's
they built the
Universal
prison.
Oh, I
Studios
know. What I'm
thing,
saying
they
The
use,
Walking
like-
Dead has
And they have-
an actual they do Walking Dead runs that is like done by the show.
Yeah, but no, this is the show kinda as well.
I didn't watch the new Walking Dead though. It's only been
And-
one episode, but I haven't watched it yet.
They have Cabin in the Woods and Evil Dead. So it's a
And-
combination of all three.
And
I
Evil
just
Dead?
gotta
And Evil
say,
Dead.
I
That's
just
cool.
gotta say that my hockey team won 27 minutes ago.
Ew.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for that.
Interrupting our broadcast.
Not even saying who the
Well, because Doyle's upset and screaming somewhere.
You know
in-
what? It's
in-
weird.
in
They always
Hempstead, so-
call the theme park Universal Studios, but it's really Islands of Adventures where all the cool stuff is. You know, like
all the cool
Well,
broken
that's where
down
all
stuff.
that's where all the outdated Marvel stuff is.
Well,
that I'm sure
yeah,
will be moved to
it is-
Disney's
it
theme
is
parks.
outdated,
in the
but-
next
Yeah,
10
there's gotta be.
back in the day,
every
that was like
day.
Marvel headquarters. That was like Marvel heaven, like back in the day. Like that's what got me into Spider-Man. That's what got me into
Oh,
comic
that
books.
gets you what?
Yeah, that's the origin.
I've been to that place.
Wait,
That
that
was
was
like-
really?
that was
That's
the
Spider-Man
origin-
ride?
That Spider-Man got me into comic books.
Are you serious?
I
Yeah,
mean,
that
that's-
influence.
Wait. I'm sorry. My entire life is now spinning.
I think I'm gonna
You
be sick.
got me into comic books,
Yeah.
and I went on that ride long before I met you. And
I
I was
went
like,
on-
wow, that was interesting. And
I
I
went
moved on.
I went on. I was 8. I didn't get why it was like a girl Venom. Like I didn't get that fucking.
There's a girl Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was-
really weird. She had blonde hair.
Yeah, it was a girl Venom. It was Hobgoblin and a girl Venom, Electro,
I know
Hydro
Electro's there,
Man,
Hydro
and
Man,
Doc
yeah.
Ock.
I only remember Hydro Man and Electro because like they sprayed a little water on you and then they shot.
And
Yeah.
I forget where you felt a lot of heat. Who was the enemy?
That was probably Electro when he's like holding the shocking like wires at you or whatever.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Or
I
no,
mean, that
it was
ride, that ride in
Hobgoblin.
1992
Hobgoblin-
must have been the shit.
Hobgoblin threw a pumpkin bomb at you and it exploded, and that's why
It
it
killed
really-
3 people in each ride.
Don't sit in the front row.
Yeah, that got me into comic books, and that's altered my history, I guess.
That is wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And the
I
Hulk
wasn't
coaster, I love the Hulk coaster and everything. But yeah, you're right. Most likely, unfortunately, because it was so cool, but Disney owns Marvel, and I don't think they're going to let Universal Studios hold that stuff
Disney
forever.
would make it much better, much cooler.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's why they're already starting to push forward.
They're adding
We're
like
doing the Star
Marvel,
Wars thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
they got,
Disney, yeah.
Really
and you know what?
pushing Star
Universal's
Wars.
got Harry Potter. The whole thing's just
Well,
and
a
the
giant
Simpsons.
Harry Potter.
And
they
the
have-
Simpsons
and they have
exhibit.
the Simpsons, and they have Transformers now too.
I know, but
It's
It's
Transformers
Harry Potter.
movie. It's
the
not
whole thing's gonna be Harry
Transformers.
Potter.
Wow.
They're expanding it more.
So you're
I thought it was just Diagon Alley or whatever.
No, they're expanding it to an entirely.
wait,
another
is that
section.
Universal
Wow.
or is that the what's it? Place?
Islands of Adventure.
Islands. That,
Exactly,
It's
so I'm
Universal. Universal owns it. So
No,
I mean,
Universal
they
Studios is more. They had the Back to the Future, which they don't have anymore. They had
They don't have
E-
Jaws anymore.
they
do
had the ET ride. They had King Kong. They had
No,
Islands of
in
Adventure.
Hollywood,
Had
they
Jurassic
have-
Park.
They have a piece of Jaws. Like you go on like a
Piece of
They have like the skin flap.
like what you do is you go on an actual studio tour and they take you like around like the studios
Yeah.
and there's a part where Jaws was shot
Yeah.
and they go through that whole thing like where like you think that the shark's about to attack you, like the guy does a little skit.
It
And
goes
then-
through
Yeah.
the tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Universal Studios
Sorry,
was
sorry.
King Kong, formerly Back to the Future.
None of those rides.
E.T. Islands of Adventure, meanwhile, was fucking Marvel, all the Marvel rides.
Jurassic
The
Park.
Double Dragons, Jurassic Park,
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss,
Oh,
yeah.
Atlantis.
Now Harry Potter and
Harry
Springfield.
Potter is gonna be the entire thing.
That's all you need.
Harry Potter.
entire thing.
People, you know how many people? I guarantee you got the.
No, I'm not saying it's
this
not going to
year,
be the
amount of people
entire
that went
thing.
there just for that.
No, I'm saying yes. It's not going to be the entire thing.
Yeah, you knew I was being not literal.
I'm like, he knows you
I
got
don't know. I mean,
You
I
knew
don't
that was
know.
a figure of speech.
I'm just saying, like, Harry Potter, I mean, like, Harry Potter does need, like,
It's-
some new outlet now that the
It's
series
easily
is
the
concluded.
most loved thing at Universal is Harry Potter.
Really? I haven't seen, like, the
Islands of
exhibit
Adventure.
myself.
No, but think about the things that in
what
our
ride
world.
do they have in the Harry Potter?
It's just called like the Harry Potter World ride or something. Like you go.
No, it's a whole
you
like.
go through it. You wait online in Hogwarts, and there's there's a ride that like brings you through Hogwarts and stuff. But they say the line is almost better than the ride because you just get to hang out. And,
yeah.
like, the pictures move and you see the classrooms.
That's cool.
Hey, you did forget about that mummy ride, which, by the way,
Does it still exist?
it does.
The
And
mummy
I
ride?
actually was scared the first time I went on that, just because you drop like 50 miles an hour into pitch black.
I don't remember if I
Really?
went on that.
Oh,
one.
that reminds me of Six
Like,
Flags,
which
the Batman
you
and
do-
Robin ride.
What you do is like
Oh,
you go in.
Batman and Robin ride rocks.
When you go back, yeah, that was way better than the movie. Just
Yeah,
like,
I
the
remember
one
the
good
guy
thing
would
to
just
come
sit
out of it.
there and fuck with you, and just be like, "Well, we're having some technical difficulties." Go, boom, and just like shoot you
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, like my theme parks as a kid, were not really. I went to Disney World when I was like a little kid, like 6 to 8 years old. But but for me, it was really Islands of Adventure. I don't call it Universal Studios because it was really Islands of Adventure and Six Flags. And the thing is, I haven't gone to amusement parks since at least I was like 14. It was just like a 11 to 14-year-old thing. I'd love to go back now if I was close by. I fucking went to school in New
Six Flags
Jersey.
like 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's true. I just
You
never.
lived in New Jersey.
I know,
for
and I just
years.
never went to Six Flags for some reason.
I'm so left out right now.
You've been to Six Flags?
No, I haven't.
You've been to Six Flags?
You know
went
what?
with Dallin or anything?
No, the only place I've ever been to is
Oh, we were
Splish
gonna,
Splash.
we were gonna go to Six Flags that one day, and then your car exploded.
Yeah, like the fucking car just like. This is like the first time the
We
Mustang
literally
broke down.
left to go to Six Flags, and his car exploded.
Oh god.
What happened? Was that the?
Yeah.
That's when the cylinder had cracked. And I replaced the entire engine.
I've actually never been to Six Flags Great Adventure, but I've been to other Six Flags. I've been to Six Flags over Texas.
Great Adventure is the best one in the country.
I've never been to a Six Flags.
Well, it's supposed to be the largest one in the world.
Yeah,
Right?
large roller coaster theme park. It has most roller coasters ever. And it's so fun.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if the one I went to was in. I went to the one in Jersey and I went to the one in California where it's all roller coasters. Like it's all like
Six Flags
it has like the Riddler roller coaster or whatever.
I mean, I have obviously not
Yeah.
I haven't been to California, but I've been to the one in Six Flags 4 times. I'm a very big fan of that place.
Yeah, I'd love to go back to like an amusement park and go on roller coasters. I've been one like fucking forever. I think last time I went to Coney Island when I was like 18 or whatever. Maybe one of like the roller coaster they have there. But
Oh, jeez, that one that's like
the wooden one that's all rickety and shit. Yeah.
Oh God.
I think the fear of that thing actually breaking down
Yeah.
is scary.
is
part,
worth
yeah.
the thrill.
Oh God. Speaking of scare, just to get back quickly on our topic, what was the most scary movie or movie moment you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, not really movie moment, but it's scary, and like the scary moment that happened to me when I was like trick or treating.
I don't want to hear about this as someone like jumped up and attacked
No,
you.
it's not that. I mean, that did happen, but not that. It was like I trick or treated at this like old man's house, but I think the old man answered. I think he had like Alzheimer's or something because like he didn't.
Get off my lawn!
He was like, "What's happening?" And like I remember his pupils in his eyes, like in one eye, one was like really big, and the other eye was like really small and everything. So. And then this old woman came out, just like, get out of here, and like,
Get out of here, you goddamn zombie.
Then we all scattered. So I don't know, it just happened. But scariest movie moment, I mean, like I said, Poltergeist scared me as a kid.
Yeah,
but,
that's
like,
true. You did say that.
I remember like this. Didn't get scared, but I just got like affected in this like stupid Mark Wahlberg movie, Fear, where they like took the family dog and they like chopped its head off and like pushed it through. They pushed it through the dog door and everything, so it looked like it was coming in, but it was really just decapitated. And that just like I remember that bothered me. But you know,
that's terrible.
Not the dog.
yeah.
What were you watching?
It was a stupid Mark Wahlberg Reese Witherspoon movie,
Oh,
Fear,
God.
from like back in the 90s.
That is pretty
Wow.
90s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even remember that movie. That sounds. I'm
That sounds
sorry.
horrific.
Yeah.
I
Reese
feel bad.
Witherspoon and Mark
You had
Wahlberg
to watch both of them at a movie
And the dog
together?
died?
Yeah.
with dead dog.
Oh god. Yeah.
How are you
I can
here?
barely
I
watch
mean,
one of them.
you
in
sure
a
it wasn't just Reese Witherspoon's head coming to the dog?
You sure you weren't just watching with Reese
her
Witherspoon?
chin?
It was like, oh my god, this is as bad as a dog.
No, it was like Mark Wahlberg back before Boogie Nights and after New Kids on not New Kids on the Block, whatever the fuck he was. Good Vibrations, whatever.
Yeah, what was
No,
he
it
in?
was new. No,
No,
it was
it
new
was
kids on the
no.
block.
It was Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yes,
that's what
that
it
was
was.
it.
Yeah, for the longest time, I just hated Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I liked Boogie Nights, but that wasn't enough to
You
like
liked
that.
Boogie Nights?
I like
Were
Boogie
you a
Nights.
child?
No, no one was a child. I'm talking about when I was a teenager.
That would be really weird.
I was gonna say that's an odd thing for
Yeah,
a child.
I
No,
like the
like-
scene where they rape
Be like-
roller girls.
Yeah, it's like, this is me, Mom. This is what,
No.
this is what I identify with.
No, I didn't. I
Pat,
watched,
you're 5.
I've seen some stuff.
no,
That's
like,
the thing.
no, like teenage film critic me. Like I liked Boogie Nights, but I hated everything else Mark Wahlberg was in. But then I like.
Wait, but
Oh,
we're
see, I
teenagers.
like-
He was
but
in some good things.
now
I like
he was
Three
in The
Kings.
Departed, and now he does. I like his
He was in
comedic
The
roles. I like
Fighter.
the other guys, and I like Ted. So like those are two
Ted
good
was
movies.
so good.
The fighter was good.
Yeah, The
Fighter was
Fire is
good.
also good, I guess.
I don't know. My favorite Mark Wahlberg.
The Happening, I just watch. It's so good, it's bad.
Okay,
It's
all
like,
right.
it's
We're
like
not talking
the.
about favorite Mark Wahlberg movies.
We're talking about scary things, guys.
Happening is
I
scary.
know a lot of his
Okay.
movies are scary bad, but
Okay, let's take this focus off Mark Wahlberg for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Someone else besides Pat, what was your favorite or scariest movie
the
moments?
moment that fucked you up the most, or the movie that fucked you up the most.
I don't have one of those moments because I never watched that shit when I was
Because
young.
because your parents didn't let you watch movies.
That's pretty much.
So a moment in
So
your
let's
life
talk
for
to
Jose
someone
that
who-
fucked you up the
Let's
most.
talk to someone who had a child.
No. We're gonna go personal with Jose. Everyone else's favorite movie moment that fucked you up the most. Jose, moment in your life that fucked you up the most.
Staring in the eyes of a man with an AK-47 pointed at me.
That was recent.
It's like 5 years
That's
ago.
my childhood.
Like 5 years ago.
That is not
I'm
child.
trying to relive it.
Okay, anyone but Pat or Jose. Anyone got a scary movie moment they'd like to share?
When I was a kid, I grew up watching all the Abbott and Costello movies. Love those
This
movies.
is the scariest moment.
Wait, hold on. When,
Like when they meet the monsters, and you're like, Abbott and Costello are gonna get killed by Frankenstein. Oh no!
I was not afraid of that one. I was afraid of when they met the mummy, because like the first time they weren't in it for like the first 10 minutes, and like you just see like the mummy come alive and it actually kills somebody, and I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. This is supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be funny. And I'm trying to click it off, and I can't.
Oh my god! Oh.
But it really like fucked me out. I really never revisited it.
I guarantee you, if you watch an Abbott and Costello movie, you probably have a moment where you're thinking about that moment.
Probably.
That shit stays with you, Jared.
Pretty random actually, but when I was a kid, I actually did enjoy watching the Horror Nights on Turner Classic Movies because that's how I saw the old Dracula and
Oh,
Frankenstein
yeah,
movies.
cool.
and they had one night where they played this movie called something Dr. Maboo. Have you guys ever heard about that?
Dr. Moreau?
No. It's Dr. Maboo. It's a movie in German, so it was titled subtitled.
Oh, okay.
I lost all of us there.
Yeah, no, I know, but the thing behind this movie is really creepy because it was filmed in 32, and it's about check out this plot. This movie was written in 32.
Wait, 32 and in German?
In German. Yeah, it
That's
was.
uncommon.
It was filmed.
Germany was around.
Yeah, I'm aware. They were not loved
Was
at the time.
this a Lenny Riefenstahl?
They had the picture technology. No, but get a load of this plot. So it's about an insane man in an insane asylum
Who becomes Chancellor of Germany?
No, close.
He writes a book.
He has connections to the outside world somehow, and he's actually causing crimes and psychedelic riots and stuff and crazy crimes to happen outside of his cell while he's thinking of it inside the psych ward. So chaos is happening all around Berlin or wherever it was filmed, and he's causing it, he's plotting it all inside just the psych ward.
That's really cool.
But
Cool idea. I can't believe that being made.
Yeah, I know. That sounds like a perfect thing to remake.
Goodish.
Look up Dr. Maboo, but
Mr. Magoo.
So
That's what Jose gets.
Oh my God! Imagine Mr.
Leslie
Magoo,
Nielsen plays a blind detective.
Dr. what?
Dr. Maboo. Do M-A-B.
Mr. Magoo would remake old stories.
Oh God.
They do Mr.
Oh no,
Magoo
Dr.
remake.
Maboose. That's it.
Maboose?
Yeah, Maboose.
Jesus.
Whatever, man.
But so it was filmed in 32. It wasn't released. The government refused to let it be released
In
because
America? Or
anywhere they didn't let it be shown because
Thanks, Hitler.
because they thought that it would inspire single individuals to rise to power too quickly by manipulating others.
Holy shit!
Wait, the Germans thought this.
The Germans thought this, so they kept
This
the
was
film.
pre-Nazi.
So it didn't.
I think the
No,
Nazi
this was
power-
as the Nazis
Nazis
were coming. to
yeah,
power.
Nazis were coming.
So it
Not
wasn't.
at
It
that
wasn't
time.
actually shown until 52.
Oh. Long after Hitler blew his brains out.
Yeah. So, but
He
if
didn't blow
you
his brains
if
out.
you
He
just
took a
watch,
cyanide pill.
I think he shot himself.
No,
right?
he took a cyanide
He
pill.
took a cyanide pill and then
Then
shot himself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Why
That's why
take
his
a
brains
cyanide-
were all over the place.
Why take a
Just-
cyanide
no,
Didn't
just in
work
case.
quick enough.
He's like, this is not working. I don't know what.
There's
that
5
accent
movies
was.
for this fucker.
yeah, there's a whole thing with Doctor. There was originally a silent movie and made in 1922, and this was a sequel.
Jesus Christ.
This one was released in 1922.
Go to the next one. Not
The Testament was released in 93. And then-
33.
and
The Testament of Dr. Mabuse.
that was released in 33.
All right, read
Says
that.
That movie from the 30s, Freaks, is pretty scary, for its time. It had the actual carnival freaks.
That got
and everything.
remade, right?
I don't think it got remade. I think it's just been released on DVD because it's a cult classic. But for its time, that was pretty out there.
Yeah, I think it did get remade. I think I saw the remake.
In color or
Yeah.
weird. I don't think I've ever seen it in
I don't
color.
know, dude. This
Whatever.
this one had a normal release, it sounded like.
Then it's not that one.
It's the third one, I think.
Okay. But anyway, just watch the first 10 minutes of this movie. They don't say a word, but it's creepy as shit.
No, that sounds really cool.
So
I am very, hang on. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go.
So say goodbye.
Ah, I don't want to say goodbye.
Dave's leaving. He's trying to sneak away.
I don't like you people.
Love you too, Dave.
Well, I like Jose. I like Jose's courage. His courage to go.
Courage.
he has courage. A man who walks around in juicy pants and a link costume has courage.
I mean,
You know what I can see?
I don't know
That's
what
just way
else
too
it would be.
ironic now because of the Triforce of Courage.
He's got Tim Robbins' face right by the.
You know what you would say?
That's what the rhinestones make.
You know, the outline of Tim Robbins' face, winking. Oh, god damn.
Hot damn.
But before I leave, I just want to say one thing that scared me as a kid. I look back at it now, it's just really silly. I'd never liked to watch Star Wars: A New Hope because Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen's dead skeletons scared the fuck out of me.
God, I don't even. I almost think I have a problem with myself because I never even noticed that they were dead skeletons.
You know what? I know I agree with Kyle a lot, but I completely agree with him. I didn't notice that
Right?
ever.
Like, until you get older, you're like, wow, those are dead people that we saw on screen.
Like I
earlier.
thought he just came back and the house was fucked up, and you just assumed. Like I didn't realize there were corpses
You've
over
got to
there.
ignore the corpses when you're a kid.
They were burning.
They were 100% there burning.
Kyle, they were burning, and I was a kid.
But when I saw it, I was like, okay, move on, Jedi stuff, move on.
Kill them.
The whole.
And I was like, really? They left no tracks? Like, there was just one pair of tracks? This is crazy. This is like a mystery of banthas.
They go in single file.
They go in single file. I don't get it.
All right.
All right, say goodbye.
All right.
Oh well, goodbye, people.
All right, that's Dave.
What do you want me to say? You want me to say
something like, "Hey, it's me. I gotta go. See you later, guys," and take off.
Signing off or whatever.
Signing off. Good night and good luck.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's been done.
It's kind of overdone
You know why?
because he's done it before.
No.
Because goddamn Tim Robbins was in that movie.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I don't think Tim Robbins. This is not in that
It's not a good night and good luck.
I was literally about to be like, that is not even a little bit true.
But it would fit much better. It would.
Just edit that part out. Just make everybody
that's there.
believe.
All right, go, leave.
You're dismissed.
Oh,
We'll see you next time.
Jose, Jim, do you have a scary movie moment that fucked you up?
We just said I don't have one.
No, but there has. You've never seen any movie. You've never seen anything on television or movies that.
Well, there
We're
are
gonna
also
take that moment from The Godfather right now.
You know,
the horse's head.
The moment where Vito's in the hospital.
Oh.
What?
The Godfather.
I know what he's
Why
talking
is it-
about.
why is
but
it
I-
scary?
And I just saw that
Alan
movie a
Brennan
few
in
months ago for
hospital.
the first time.
I thought you said it was creepy when we spoke about it last.
Yeah, but my memory is so fucking foggy of that movie.
The one where Vito's in the hospital when he's shot and Michael's trying to.
Yeah,
He's like,
I
we
know,
gotta
he's
get.
hanging out at the hospital.
We got to get my dad out of here.
Yeah.
I thought Jose last time said it.
I don't
he's,
think-
I thought just
creepy.
There was something that might have been creepy in that movie. I don't remember what it was though.
He
Maybe
said
it's-
something was creepy.
Maybe it's the horse's head.
I don't know. That's too.
No,
obvious.
that's been done a million times.
Yeah.
Though. They
Yeah,
did-
there
I
are
think
all-
in an episode of Rocco's Modern Life they fucking pun that.
Yeah.
Might have. I'll
Hey,
have to
Arnold.
rewatch
we
the movie.
did.
to
We
figure-
punned that in an SGA training video once.
Wow.
Remember when Dawn found Rory's head in the bed? That's what that was a reference to.
I don't remember that video.
It's on the Facebook.
Okay, I'll look for
Well,
it.
Jim, do you have a movie moment that was when you were a kid? You're like, wow, that's fucked up.
You know, I want to say I do, and I just can't think of what it was. Like, because I could like feel in my heart that something fucked me up.
Well, go to that feeling in your heart.
Well, I'll let you think.
Like, you know, I could say I saw People Under the Stairs when I was young. You guys know that movie?
No.
That was kind of creepy. That was like the first like real, I guess you could say that was like the real like.
I mean, that's fucked up for a kid to see.
Like scary movie I ever saw.
Here's a question:
I was in like third grade.
Was anyone actually
Or even
scared
younger.
by The Sixth Sense?
I was scared when
It
they
was.
tried.
I will give you the end is creepy.
I
Like
was
when you
scared
find
when
out
that.
that he's dead too. That's
I don't.
spoiler alert.
I was scared when that teenager turned around and his head was blown off and everything.
I think I was too young to understand really what was going on,
I think
so it
Yeah,
didn't
me
scare
too.
me.
You know what scared
But
me?
I
about
could
the-
see it fucking someone else up.
Totally random. The scene where Bruce Willis goes to celebrate his anniversary with his fiance,
Yeah,
and he's dead,
yeah,
and she's just ignoring him
yeah.
because you know something's up.
You just don't like being ignored.
You just don't know what's up. No,
Just
no, but
afraid
like,
of it?
no, you know something.
Someone might not pay attention to me.
You know something's just going on there
Yeah,
that you
I
don't
agree.
know, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? And like that was like the scariest.
Such a
moment to me.
shame.
As
M.
far
Night
as that is.
Shyamalan peaked with his first movie.
Okay, we're not
We're-
making this an
alright,
M. Night
yeah, we're not doing
Shyamalan.
this.
We could do
Alright,
episodes on
But you
that.
know,
point
I was
talking
trying to
about
say before, there are also like really scary music videos that have been released, like Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden's a pretty scary.
I like that
music
song.
video.
I've never seen this.
The music video is crazy. It's like
Black Hole
this like
Sun,
really
won't
over the
you
top
come?
sunny like suburbs with like everybody's like smiling really creepy and the whole town's being like sucked into a black hole over them. And then there's this other video, Where's Your Head At? I forget the name of the band who sings it, but just about like these monkeys with like human faces and they're like singing like the techno song, and it just looks really creepy and everything. Like there's just a whole like genre of like music videos out there that are just really creepy. Or like Aphex Twin. Aphex Twin released a shit ton of like really creepy like music videos for his music too. So like they're worth like checking out for like being creeped out or whatever.
That's cool. When I was little, I didn't watch a lot of scary movies when I was little. I was terrified of them because I very like every time I saw anything, I would just dream about it for weeks. So, it took me a long time to watch scary movies. And my cousin Tim, who I've talked about many times to all of you, most of you have met him, and he would always talk about The Ring, about how fucking scary it was and how terrifying it was. And this is a kid who, like, to this day, he can't watch The Ring because he fucked himself up too much with this movie. And there are many, many scarier things with this movie. I mean, scarier than this movie. And
I was gonna say The Ring is actually a movie I saw as a young kid too, but for some reason that didn't bother me.
Yeah, The Ring didn't look
But
that
then again,
scary.
the dinner scene in The Sixth Sense scared the shit out of me, so I don't know if I'm a credible source for that.
They won't talk to him!
So, but I actually didn't
Bruce
find
Willis
that
is
movie
being
scary.
ignored!
I think The Grudge was scarier than The Ring, and The Grudge had
That was
fucking Buffy in
awful.
it.
No, you're
but see,
kidding. The Grudge. I saw that in the movie theater. We
Yeah.
laughed the whole time.
It's a
Yeah,
different
alright.
thing. It's a different...
Come on.
The Ring was scary.
Velma was in it.
Yeah. The Ring was scary because it gave you that fucked up thing of, like, if I watch this, am I going to get...
Yeah, and that was Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, like the fucking crazy monster girl from
Yeah,
The Ring.
whatever. I mean, come on. But it took me a long time. I was terrified of the movie. Anytime it was on, I would just not watch it. Took me to the second movie. The second movie was on The Ring 2. And it was just sort of, I don't know where I was. I think I was hanging out with people and it was on. I was kind of forced to watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't scary at all. Like, it really, it was like a moment of, like, I don't... And by this point, I had seen many other fucked up movies. It was just The Ring was the movie that I could not get past. Like, the same cousin, me and my cousin Tim watched Friday the 13th Part 2. And there's a moment that we, to this day, will make fun of, where there's a kid hanging upside down and Jason walks up to him, puts his machete to his throat, and barely, moves it across his throat, and more blood than can ever be in 10 human bodies sprays out of this
Really?
kid.
That's funny.
And we could not stop laughing. To this day, we cannot, every once in a while, we'll just put, a fake machete to, the other one's neck and just, it's an endless
Get the old ketchup bottle out and just start squirting.
it's an endless joke with us, but it's fucked up how long the Ring was a terrifying thing to me in my mind. And weirdly, 7, the movie.
Yeah,
I
7
thought
was...
7
Because
is
the
creepy.
ending was such a
But I thought it was a
friggin'
horror
slap
movie
in the
for a really
face.
long
Not
time.
It's creepy.
I thought 7 was a horror movie for a really long time. We'd be in Blockbuster, my cousin Tim would be like, "Oh, you don't want to watch this? This is fucked up." About 7, I saw 7 eventually. I was like, "This is my favorite movie of all time."
The sloth
From a
guy was
filmmaking
pretty scary.
perspective, it's actually quite incredible.
7
just
is
how
oh,
the
yeah.
shots.
7 is my top favorite, top 10 favorite.
David
movies of all
Fincher's a
time.
good director. He doesn't always have the best movies, but he's still a good director most of the time, at least.
But okay, here I have a question now. If given the opportunity to dress up today as a character and go trick or treating, would you do it?
As a
If it wasn't...
You're your age
as a
right
kid
now.
though.
No, you're your age right now.
It was socially acceptable.
There's
For
a
some
thing-
reason, it was socially
There's a thing
acceptable.
for this. It's called cosplaying at conventions. You don't have to wear, all your...
So you don't get free candy.
You don't get candy. You have to knock on
Alright.
people's doors. Of course, there's.
So
other-
nobody's gonna be like, "Why you old and doing this?" This is like if there was a character you want to dress up as for treat.
Yeah. Would you feel
It was
like
socially
if
acceptable.
it was socially acceptable, like an adult would give you candy without
So
questioning
what
it?
character would you dress up as? This is the question.
Right. And would you feel comfortable doing it? Would you have a problem doing it?
I mean, if no one else had a problem, why would I have a problem?
Yeah, I mean, just fuck it, something to do. You have free
I wouldn't
candy
have a
and-
problem. And can I be a Gundam?
It'd be weird because no one would be home and
Yeah.
because everyone would be out trick or treating.
Well, okay, the 40-year-olds aren't gonna be.
Okay.
Alright, so the acceptable age limit is, say, 25 at
So we
this
extend
point.
the,
Yeah.
we extend the age by by 10 years, by a
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so all right.
I always wanted to be
Well,
either, Rorschach or V. Those are cool costumes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would do it without hesitation because clearly everyone else is doing it.
So
but
who would you be?
who would I be?
A Green Lantern?
Nah, it's too easy. I did that once at a party. I just had a Green Lantern
That's
ring, and
the
I
same.
wore a Green
Yeah.
Lantern shirt.
That is not being a Green Lantern,
And
for the record.
No, I was like, hey, I can choose my own fucking costume. I'm Green Lantern.
First of all, none of the lanterns have your hair cut.
you don't know
Kyle, sort of.
There are a
Nah,
lot of lanterns.
No, he
There's
is-
7,200 lanterns.
Yeah.
One might have my haircut.
They definitely do not.
Most of them don't have hair. I don't know. I'm bad with that. I would be like, I'm me disguised as me. Like, I don't know.
That would be a pretty awful costume,
Yeah,
for the record.
if it was okay to dress up in costume, I don't know. I might go as like a Power Ranger or something for nostalgia's sake.
For nostalgia's sake.
If I were to be a Power Ranger, I'd definitely be like any of the Tommy Power Rangers, either the Green Power Ranger or the Silver Power Ranger.
He was not a Silver Power Ranger.
He was the White Power Ranger. My bad.
Dumb fuck.
I was about to say we could put some money on
Oh,
this.
whatever. It's silver sounds cooler than white anyway. Like,
There's only one Silver Ranger ever. He was in space.
was he the future one that they never like revealed what his deal was?
No. Silver Power Ranger was in Power Rangers in Space, and his name was, I can't remember what his name is, but the guy looked like
Andros or
No, that
whatever.
was the Red Ranger.
Alright.
Space guy.
Yeah, it was the other space guy.
I know which one you're talking
Ha
about.
ha, Alex, ha ha. You
I forgot-
can't tell us the right answer.
I forgot what his
The
name was.
joke's on
but-
you.
I mean, technically there wasn't another Silver Ranger, but it's called the Titanium Ranger.
Titanium is not silver. That's a
But
different
his
metal.
uniform was silver.
It's a different metal.
The White Ranger. Okay, yeah. Silver sound would. He looked more so. He looked even. You get away with gold too. He had like the gold and silver like color scheme going.
No,
for
he
him.
was white and had some kind of gold on him and black.
Alright, well, it was a cool costume. Tommy was definitely the best Power Ranger
Very cool.
ever.
My cousin had Saba. You know, his little like talking
Yeah.
sword.
The green suit was cool too, and even his red suit with like the star visor or whatever.
Zio.
You know, it's a pretty adult-friendly costume, actually, I've noticed.
What?
Adult friendly.
Everything
Adult
women
friendly.
wear our age.
Yeah, appropriate to wear our age.
Like,
Like if you were working in
girls
a job or
wearing
something and they told you,
slutty
they're like, oh, come
outfits.
to work in costume today. Like,
Okay, what?
pretty socially acceptable costume?
Walter
I'd say-
White.
Maybe. I would say probably a Star Trek outfit.
You know, that's what I've always wanted to do that too.
Kirstie Allen did it.
It's
What's
easy
this
as
happen to
hell.
anyone
Just
else?
order one of
I
those
have-
$20 shirts on
I have
Amazon.
a T-shirt too.
And just literally wear that with black pants and
Pants.
black shoes, and you're good.
yeah,
And you know,
Halloween is the only day we can come to work without any kind of uniform, and I have yet to work. Well, that's not true. Last year we got sandied, so
Yeah.
when I came to work was actually closed, and I sat through an 8-hour training class. And then
Was Sandy
this-
like about a year ago? It
It's
was
been a
in
year.
October.
It's been a year. Halloween was canceled because of it.
Yeah.
November 10th will be a year. Will be the day we got electricity back after Sandy in this house.
wow, people
Mhm.
keep track of that. Oh, in this house.
Yes, we're celebrating it.
I see.
It was a miracle day.
Speaking of which, there's another Brandy's event coming up called the Edisonian Lestastic Festival of Lights. It's a 2-day festival where we celebrate the lights coming out after Sandy. Check it out at facebook.com/Boffle. That's BOFLFF. Tennis, you know you want it.
Not to sound like an asshole, but I just remember like last year I dodged the shit out of Sandy and everything. Like my dorm in I was in Jersey.
A lot of Jersey got fucked up.
I know that's the thing though. My dorm never lost power. Like class was canceled and everything was going to hell outside. I just got drunk off my ass off rum and coke. Like it was like The Shining, except I was just getting drunk all the time. The Shining in the sense that you're
That
in
in
a
no
big.
way is like shining.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't-
Explain.
you don't-
Please
you-
explain how your
you don't-
situation was like
let's-
The Shining.
It's when you're
let's-
isolated, but you're like your mind's going to a different place. In my case,
You were alone. You were
Wait,
alone. in
wait.
this
His
situation.
family was with him in the cabin.
I know, but let's. All right, fine. You had 2 other people with you, 3 other people with you.
It was just me.
You know,
It
there
was
were
just
no other
me.
people there.
Most of my roommates went home for the storm for some reason or whatever. I don't know why.
Because
They
their
panicked.
parents were probably like, "Oh my God, our house is gone."
God damn.
Hurricane
Yeah.
Irene, we did the same thing. We got really drunk and partied in the dorms. That was a blast.
But did you compare yourself to The Shining?
No, it was actually like what college should be with like pong and beer.
I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
Pat-
wait. That's what this house was for years.
This is before Jim was like
Was
integrated with us,
pure
though.
pong and
Yeah.
beer.
Speaking of The Shining, I've been reading Doctor Sleep, and it, when you're it's the sequel to The Shining, but the thing is, there's a very big difference between Stephen King's The Shining and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Yeah.
And
Well, have you read The
no,
Shining?
it's not. It's more with Stephen King. It's less of a horror story, more of like him putting his alcoholism and frustration towards raising kids.
No. It's a horror.
Jack Torrance was Stephen King, and that's what's
but
the biggest thing
did
that
you
pissed
read
him
The
off.
Shining?
I didn't read the actual book, The Shining. I didn't read The Shining. I saw the movie.
So then
but
don't comment on this.
All right, but it's true.
It's a horror story.
Well, Doctor Sleep isn't a horror story.
No, Doctor Sleep is not a horror story in any way.
It's more of him looking back on his alcoholism after being clean and sober.
But The Shining is a horror story. Absolutely a horror story.
Well, yeah, it's
100%.
It's
The book is a horror story.
Yeah, okay, but it's
There's like animals and shit. Like,
no, the topiary comes to life for a
There's
little
a
bit.
lot of weird fucked up shit.
It explains why there's a guy getting sucked off by a guy in a dog costume. It solves that mystery, guys.
It
solves that mystery.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, the Doctor Sleep. I've not read it, but I did read The Shining. I heard it's not a horror story, but it does. It takes place years after. It's about Danny, and he does have a little bit of shining left.
And now it's his job to be. That's one of the aside from always taking place in Maine. One of the key characteristics of a Stephen King story is that somebody, usually a child, will inexplicably, like no explanation given, will have psychic powers. And Danny was one of those kids. Now he's all grown up, and now in Doctor Sleep, it's his job to teach the next kid, in this case, a little girl who has like psychic powers.
Yeah, but Danny, from what I heard, is like helping old people die, basically.
Well, he works in a hospice, but meanwhile,
he's using The Shining to like help them.
The bad guys are like vampires disguised as middle-aged people. It's just
Wow, this
weird.
doesn't sound like a horror movie at all.
I don't know, that's not The Shining. I'm talking about Doctor Sleep.
I know, but
We have gotten way off the topic.
Well, I mean,
we're on The Shining. We're not too far off the
Yeah.
subject.
I guess.
That was a good movie.
Fair.
Yeah, fucking The Shining. I used to think that was. I've watched it now. It's not as scary as I thought it used to be as a kid, but like it was scary back in the day, you know.
You know what? Let me go to quickly before we go. One of the most terrifying things that they've ever made into a movie was Stephen King's It.
Yeah, well,
because Tim Curry
is really
as a terrifying child murdering clown.
It was less Stephen King's It. It was more of Tim Curry as Pennywise. Really,
that's all you need. He is terrifying.
He pretty much carried all the shitty like acting and like it made it memorable. He was a good Pennywise. He was fucking awesome, and it gave the story justice. It's definitely in the top 5 like Stephen King's best stories anyway.
I mean,
oh yeah,
watch sci-fi. There are a lot of bad Stephen King.
Yeah, miniseries like that. The Stand, like 6-hour thing. It does not. The book's better, folks. Just to say, if you have to choose between reading The Stand, the book, and watching the 7-hour The Stand, the miniseries from like 1992,
has the gun to your head.
just read the book. Just read the 1,000-page book. It's a lot better than the 6-hour miniseries. But
oh well.
But no, I talk a lot of shit about Dr. Sleep, but I love Stephen King. Like The Stand's one of my favorite novels ever.
I'm actually not a big fan of him.
Yeah, he's kind of old-fashioned sometimes with his writing.
I just think it's overrated. I love The Shining. I love a few other of his things. It's just like, if you write that much shit, eventually you're gonna get lucky.
I'm surprised he's very productive. Like after decades of like being a writer, he's like still coming out with like at least one novel a year.
But how many of them are good?
Well, he had this JFK one that came out a couple years ago that was pretty good. And
JFK, like John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
No, the other JFK that we all know and love.
It was about this guy who went back into
isn't that a little offensive?
No, this guy went back in time to like stop the Kennedy assassination. No, except he doesn't go back to 1963. He goes back to 1958. And he has to live out 5 years building, like spying on Lee Harvey Oswald and getting information to see if he worked by himself or he had help or whatever.
I do know about that, actually. I did hear about that.
And he wrote this other short story anthology that was pretty good. Joyland wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It was more like Shawshank Stephen King as opposed to like It Stephen King.
I mean, Shawshank Redemption is like hands down one of the greatest movies ever made.
I mean, not the fact that it was a good movie, the fact that it's more of like a, human, heartwarming story kind of thing as opposed to like a supernatural story.
It's still one of the greatest movies ever made. Like, why would you not? I mean, I haven't read the book, but come on, that movie is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, it's good and everything. The freaking Dave left. He'd be rubbing Tim Robbins and
Starring
Tim Robbins, Shawshank Redemption, without a doubt his most famous movie.
That name.
Other than Green
I think you can
Lantern,
forgive him for Shawshank.
yeah.
I can't forgive him for Shawshank.
yeah,
That
I mean,
was
yeah,
awesome.
Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest movies ever made.
That was-
Indeed.
God, TNT thinks so at least, but
Hey, AMC.
AMC. Back when AMC was the old movie channel, now it's the best original series channel. Well, at least for
IMDb
Breaking
has,
Bad.
has Shawshank Redemption as the greatest movie ever made.
Probably.
It's their number one, I think.
Yeah,
I think so.
could be. I mean, Green Mile was like the perfect blend between Supernatural Stephen King and Shawshank Redemption Stephen King, because it was
That is true.
and yeah, that was directed by the same guy who
Yeah,
made
you know-
Shawshank, Frank Darabont, who did the first season of The Walking Dead, but he got fired, and that's why Dale died.
IMDb's top 250. Number one is Shawshank Redemption.
They like the story of a guy escaping prison for 20 years.
And number two is The Godfather.
Oh, that's...
And number three is The Godfather Part 2. Jeez.
Oh, God. That's the thing. I was watching Law and Order, like SVU, and like in its later seasons, the writing really went to shit in like the later seasons of SVU. And like in one of the opening scenes where they have like the people before they find the dead body, it's this couple like about to like get it on and like oh, what's your favorite movie? Oh, mine's Casablanca. What's yours? Oh, The Godfather. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Can you pick
We
more?
are beyond the topic of Halloween.
No, I
It's
mean,
just been Pat's rambling for like 15
well,
minutes.
you guys can chime in whenever you want. I'm not stopping you guys.
Does anyone have any Halloween-related things to talk about?
I don't know. I think this train's about to pull into the station.
Yeah, my brain kind of turned off like 15 minutes ago.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I
before we
think-
leave, before we talk about anything else, before we end the story of Halloween this year, I guess we should bring up.
The fact that Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors is airing 2 weeks earlier than it normally
I
The
does.
don't
only
watch
good thing about
The
that is the
Simpsons,
intro.
I know. I
You
just
can?
I saw it on a commercial while I was watching football.
It's airing 2 weeks.
It's airing like this week, but normally it airs the weekend
Yeah,
after
it's always
Halloween.
after Halloween.
That's
It's
weird.
because of baseball.
Is it?
It's all because of baseball.
Yeah, back then Fox shows like Futurama used to always get interrupted by like football or baseball.
That's
or
weird,
whatever.
but I have something else to add to that. Just jumping off of that, we were talking about right before we got on air. South Park got delayed for the first time ever. They did not meet their quota for the first time in 17 years.
Matt Stone,
So
they
what
probably
happened?
like fuck
Did they
it.
not?
It was supposed to air last night, and
It
they didn't
didn't.
air it.
There was what happened, what I understand, there was a power outage
Yeah.
in the studio that they animate the cartoon.
Oh,
and,
that's you know they got
and so it wasn't their fault. I'm sure they were reporting
No,
work,
but you know, to be honest, like Comedy Central could be like, well, you know what? Now maybe not wait for maybe not do the 6 days before it's supposed to air. Like start making it 6 days before it airs.
I was never a fan of that because
I love it.
for that
I like
reason
that
though,
too,
that's
yeah.
why traditionally the rest
Every
of
week
the
you were
shows.
like, it might not work.
No, that's why the rest of the shows in the world don't do that. Like, South Park has been clever on that edge where they're
Yeah.
like, we're going to be so revolutionary, unlike everyone else. We're going to air these episodes within 6 days. We're going to work so hard. We're going to have the most current events. But for the history of television now,
There's a
almost
reason
7
why
years,
they don't
there's
do
a reason why they don't do that, and it's that.
Yeah.
Because things can fuck up, and you need to give
Yeah.
yourself a buffer to
If
account
I
for
was
that.
Matt
At least
Stone or
3
Trey
hours.
Parker,
Yes, like not finish the episode 4 hours before it airs.
But if I was the
But
creators
it's
of
worked for 17 years, so I'm not going to trash on them too.
Yeah.
And I love South Park, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
pounce on them too much. But
I'm just saying, if I was the creators of South Park, I wouldn't take. If Comedy Central tried to give me shit, I wouldn't take it because I'm like,
Well, they
Comedy
did know
Central,
best
you
thing.
need us. Like, you actually.
not anymore.
I don't think they
I
do.
would argue
I think
not
they're way-
anymore,
Yeah, I think
but
they're way
they-
beyond South Park.
They built that station.
With
I will agree
Workaholics
with
and
that.
maybe Key and Peele now, I guess.
No, South
The
Park is so
Daily Show-
inconsistent. It's so
And Colbert
it's so
Report.
rare. Like they have
Yeah,
so
John-
little every year that it's Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert's network.
Yeah.
It is. It's become
Colbert
their-
won an Emmy for like his
Yeah,
program.
well, no,
What, like
no,
8 of them?
it's not Colbert. It's that Colbert beat Jon Stewart for
Ah.
the first time.
Yeah.
In
Well,
8
Colbert
years.
is pretty much the spin-off of Jon Stewart.
I know, but Jon Stewart has won 8 years in a row.
Ah,
It was
yeah.
7 years in a row. and
Colbert deserves it. Like, he
He
does an
does.
awesome job at what he does.
I like Colbert, but I think Jon Stewart's better show.
Oh, that's just the Jew in you.
I want to see his documentary that he was overseas for that he was making.
It's being put.
Isn't it like really depressing? Like it's about
Probably, it's
Israeli
not-
torture or something?
Yeah, it's about bad things.
Yeah, well, I want to see it. The fact that he like
Oh, what a tragedy.
whatever it was, he made John Oliver take over for all of summer or whatever it was.
I'll tell you, John Oliver really
did a good job.
He
Yeah,
did,
he did a
one.
great job.
I think
watched a couple of them.
he could easily get his own.
How does
show
it
after
work?
that.
Do they always make a new episode, or like is it they sometimes do reruns though? Like
Well, they usually do. They have a certain schedule.
It's like a
that
talk.
stops.
It's like any other talk show. Like I think there's a
not
total of like
recorded live,
200
it's like-
episodes in a season.
yeah.
There are a ton of episodes.
Yeah, because it's like
He's been doing it
365.
for 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I remember like
thousands.
freshman year of college, it was like September 5th, 2009, and now it's like 2013. And everything.
Oh well, he's been on since what? 01?
I remember Colbert shaved his head in 2009, and that was one of his like big things. And I was like, 2009's like forever ago at this point. Like, God,
4 whole years.
it's like weird getting older.
Jon Stewart has been doing the show for 2,290 episodes.
Damn, it's more than MASH.
That's why he's number 15 on that show, all-time greatest written show
And the
list.
second billed person on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart is Stephen Colbert as himself, all those other things, for 774 episodes. He's still the second billed person on that show, and he's had his own show for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder what Stephen Colbert is like when he drops the character and he turns into Stephen Colbert.
He's a normal person.
I guess. I guess he's just.
He's
chill.
actually fairly Catholic, from what I hear. Like,
Yeah, I
very
heard about
religious.
that. Like,
Is that right?
Religious, yeah.
he got arrested on Law and Order, criminal intent,
That's,
or
yeah,
something.
come on.
That's kind of funny.
He probably showed that clip on Colbert Report, made fun of it. Won't be
I can see
surprised
that.
if he did.
And he has 1,167 episodes on his own show.
Wow.
And the second billed person on his show is Jay the Intern with 31 episodes.
Wow.
Wah, wah.
31 out of like 8 years.
That's so little. That means there's 1,000.
He doesn't do nearly as much of that stuff though as John.
Yeah,
Stewart
that
does.
means
He does
there's
a lot. He does a lot of his
He
own.
has fairly
It's
new
just-
correspondence each year too, so it's not like he has like a main recurring cast or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's just him. That's crazy.
Yeah, like Daily Show and Colbert Report kind of shared the same recurring cast with like the field reporters or whatever.
No.
They didn't.
No, it's Jon Stewart is their own field reporters. Stephen Colbert does it all himself generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
The fourth most the fourth top billed cast member on the Colbert Report is Jon Stewart with 17 episodes. Where like he just came on to be
funny.
like, oh yeah, or like I say this.
I would say between Colbert and Stewart, and now even Futurama, like that has been what's carrying.
Well, Futurama is
conversation.
over
Futurama's
now.
done.
Yeah.
It's done now, but for a while. it
Workaholics is like
I would say
blown out
above
too.
anything
and
else.
Tosh.
Tosh Point oh,
Tosh
above-
Point
Tosh
Oh,
Bruno
big
got
deal.
lucky. Like Tosh, like
Regardless,
those clips.
Regardless,
Yeah.
I
Regardless.
completely agree. I understand. Yeah,
Tosh
no,
Point oh above South Park, I think, is one of the more. I think if you look at the ratings, because Tosh is so regular and has so many episodes, I'd say it does more.
You
for the
realize
station than
that ever
South Park.
since Chappelle's show, like
Yeah, duh.
Comedy Central has been desperately trying to like
Everyone
cling to
knows.
something.
Everyone knows they keep giving shows to comedians, but Tosh Point has been on for years now.
All right,
It's
still.
been 3 or 4 years.
more than that.
It
It's been
just-
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. It's
Or
not
it's
that anymore. It's longer than Chappelle's show, I think.
Yeah,
Way
Chappelle's
longer
show.
than
Yeah,
Chappelle's
way
show was-
way longer than Chappelle's
was
show.
like 2 years. It was like 40 episodes.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
so
long?
I
It was
mean,
less
technically,
than 40.
Tosh Point oh is more successful than Chappelle's show.
Yeah, it's nice to get closure to all these like viral video people, but like
Well, Tosh has always been sort of the top of the game when it came to the viral video people.
I guess it's kind of like just the soup though, only with viral videos instead of
No,
E.
But Tosh did it better. Like,
Tosh
that
did
was
it
the
better,
thing.
and he did it
always
first.
did it funnier. He did it first. He did better. Like the soup was
The
always.
soup was an attempt to.
No, I think the soup was before Tosh.
Was
The
it?
soup definitely was
Yeah.
before Tosh.
It
Yeah.
definitely was.
Yeah.
Joel McHale was on the soup, and he was doing it for years.
I remember
before
watching
he was
like
on.
07.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
stand corrected.
but to be fair, Tosh did it better. Tosh did it funnier. Tosh did,
Tosh is more of a comedian, I think.
Didn't Tosh say he was
He is-
retiring when he turned 38 or something, or was that just a joke?
I don't know, but he's
I'm
not
sure-
38.
I'm sure
He's
that
like
was a joke.
35.
Yeah, but he's not 38.
All right. The point is that I believe he said he was retiring from comedy or whatever at the age of 38.
I'm sure that was a joke.
Sure. I mean,
All right.
even if it is, we'll see in a few years.
Yeah. All right, I guess maybe you're right. I mean, like, Workaholics is blowing up. Keen Peele's got a little bit of an audience. Daily Show, Jon Stewart, and Colbert
South Park
Report.
once a year
You get, and you know what?
We'll
You get
blow
the
in like 100 million viewers.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is that they just bring back the true believers.
Yeah.
No one new is jumping on the bandwagon of South Park anymore.
Very
And
true. Very true.
Yeah.
I that's what I want to throw out there
Like-
because that's how I felt.
Yeah,
Back
if
in
I
the-
was a kid, I would probably not watch South Park.
Right.
Yeah.
No one's jumping on the bandwagon anymore.
It's kinda
And
like-
the same thing's kind of happening with some of the other sitcoms, like
Yeah.
maybe the Family Guy.
It's not that outrageous. And yeah, even Family Guy.
No,
Like,
it is outrageous, but it's outrageous in the wrong way.
yeah.
Like they did the 2 weeks ago a Zimmerman episode,
Mm-hmm.
and there were parts of it that were funny. There were parts of it that like Cartman dealing with Token was really funny. How he kept trying to like be his buddy because he was black.
Yeah.
But and then they did like a World War Z thing, and it was just there was parts of it that were just like, yeah, but you didn't have to do this. Like there was a better way to do this.
They should have talked about how World War Z didn't use any of the awesome things from the novel.
Okay, we're not doing it.
No, come on. Why would they ever do that? Nobody knows the novel. That'd be a stupid thing.
They
to
should
do.
know the novel because the novel
That's a
is
stupid thing to do, Pat. Come on.
Whatever.
It's a good novel. Why would that's a ridiculous thing to do on a television show.
No, just say the line like they. Whatever.
But what they did, which was really funny, if you ever saw the movie, was at the very end you see like them recreating the end of World War Z with Cartman, like how it's like them floating off to the island and the family's all happy and good, and Cartman just wakes up in class like, oh my god, the end of that movie was so bad.
Damn.
And then Kyle just looks at him. He's like, "That's what you're upset about, not the fact that you're a murderer."
Yeah, that's the thing. World War Z is just one of those movies that's an example of like a novel being adapted and like being Hollywooded up the ass until it turns into what we got, with Brad Pitt as the main and only character, and I don't have to. It's all there.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, World War Z is the latest in. I mean, I'm afraid if that's what's passing for a zombie movie these days.
Yeah. I mean, the whole end of the world apocalypse theme was big this year. However, the two comedies that were made about it were awesome.
What World's End and
World's End and
I like.
But however, I completely agree. The zombie genre, along with the vampire
zombie movies used to be scary. So there's a reason,
anymore.
even when they weren't, even when it was like Land of the Dead and like even when they were shitty movies, it was like, okay, well this is a terrifying aspect of this shitty area,
right?
Or this is a shitty area of this terrifying aspect. And World War Z just almost symbolized what's wrong with. I mean, Halloween. We're talking about Halloween today. Halloween, the things in Halloween used to be scary. There's a reason why ghosts and ghouls and zombies were scary.
Ghouls. What is a ghoul exactly?
A ghoul is a creature that feeds on dead bodies.
All right, supernatural wiki browsing person.
And in all honesty, also that's a character from lots of other things. And
Yeah, that's
I
what a
know.
ghoul is.
I know, but still.
they're also a very powerful unit in Warcraft. Just saying.
But yeah, they used to be scary, and now we're slowly. Bad writers are putting them through their paces until nothing is scary anymore. They ruined vampires. They ruined zombies.
Yeah.
Frankenstein was never scary.
They're
so
making a
let's be honest.
Frankenstein movie. I mean,
Frankenstein was just good. It wasn't scary.
Yeah, it was not really scary. It was just good.
Like those first two.
I like that the original Frankenstein, like, he's not Boris Karloff mindless. He's actually, like, if you read they did the De Niro version and everything, but it's because it's based on the original. The Frankenstein monster was, like, intelligent and, like, fuck you, Frankenstein.
Well,
like,
yeah.
I don't have a purpose, so I'm gonna fuck your life up, kind of thing.
Yeah. But, once the werewolves and the ghosts are next, then we'll have nothing to be afraid of anymore, except,
We'll have Michael Bay's explosions to scare us.
Honestly, I think we'll have Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. They're going to become the classic monster. But they're already the classic
They'll probably
monster.
remake...
the classic slashers.
We don't
Freddy and
consider the other
Jason.
ones scary anymore.
They'll probably remake Halloween with
I
Michael
will
Myers.
tell you though,
They already did. Shit,
Yeah,
my
but
bad.
really
Wow.
good remakes, actually.
Were they really good remakes?
Rob Zombie remade them.
I know they were Rob Zombie. I didn't know that.
Oh no, they were. I didn't think they were.
I really liked
They
them.
were terrible.
I know Malcolm
Especially
McDowell
that
was in
second
them.
one. The first
I
one,
really
maybe.
liked them.
I'll give you the first one a little bit, but but together they were crap.
I liked them. I didn't think they were.
But the first Halloween, in my opinion, is like horror film nirvana.
Really?
So
I didn't love it.
Wasn't that also Wes Craven the first Halloween?
No,
or
no, not at all. John Carpenter.
I know that Wes
Right?
Craven did Freddy, and he also
Yeah,
did
John
Scream.
Carpenter
That's the
did that.
thing.
But yeah, I mean, I like the
John
Carpenter,
yeah.
Rob Zombie remakes of Halloween just because it gave it a little more depth and made it a little scarier. Because I never liked Mike Myers. I thought he was a bad Shrek. No, I thought he was a stupid.
Like there was another Shrek before.
Yeah, it's bad Shrek. It's bad
Yeah.
remake Shrek. But I thought he was sort of a boring character compared to Jason Freddy. But
I always wonder why, like, a screenplay, my own version of, like, the slasher genre and everything, but they kind of did that with Scream, so I guess I would, like, decrease the tone, like, the deconstruction, just kind of, like, do my version of the slasher thing, with not making the deconstruction so, like, blatant, you know, like, kind of subtly do it.
I really
in this
enjoyed
case.
Scream. I very much enjoyed Scream, but all those movies, I mean, Scream especially, it's a regular person trying to deconstruct all those movies, trying to be those movies, trying to wear the mask and trick or treat, if they will, in a very disturbing, dark way.
Yes, trick or treat for body parts.
Yeah, which I imagine in the future that's what our children will be doing, because as we get older, kids get more and more fucked up. But when we were kids, we still had that shining dark moment where we're like, hey, we'll just take candy and then go watch fucked up movies.
I would just took candy and then watch, like, the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, kind of when I was a kid. But, you know.
Yeah, well,
So
Halloween. We'll see.
We'll see where this crazy Halloween holiday takes us in the future.
Whether it's a pagan festival of gourds and protection from demons, or in Germany there's a whole thing about how you put out treats for some despicable thing that's going to kill you because Germans are all terrified of themselves.
Probably.
But no, it's true. There's some weird fucked up German tradition with Halloween.
Huh, weird.
But Halloween's Halloween. We're America. We take Halloween to the extreme, and we just make it about, we spend
to quote Jim Gaffigan, we just turned into overeating.
Exactly. We just have a reason for adults to dress up in costumes they shouldn't dress in.
Girls dress really slutty.
It's the one night a year where a girl can dress like a total slut. And
Exactly.
No one will judge her for it.
Yep.
God bless. God bless
Jim
America.
Jim knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
And God bless Party City.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I guess we've had our fun tonight. We're deep into it. What are we, 2 hours?
It's a little over.
All right. Well, does anyone have anything else to say?
No, just good night, everyone.
Get Taco Bell.
Jim wants Taco Bell, which could be a very dangerous thing on our fake Halloween. So
Happy Halloween if we don't
happy
speak to you before
Halloween.
then.
Happy Halloween.
And be safe. Don't check your candy.
Check your candy. Don't
wear any dark colors.
which is hard to do on Halloween. But
Cops frown if you frown upon you egging their cars. So just throwing that out there.
Hooray. Jim, you want to take us out?
From the Just Casting Studios here on the Sky Club level of Brandy's Old Fashioned Lesbian Flamingo Farm Annex at Deer Park at the Beta Kappa Tau House. Good night.
Have a good week, everybody.
Peace.
Night and night.